Didn't know if I was going to pull through. I was meeting heavy resistance. They were everywhere. And meeting heavy resistance, but here I am. I pulled it off. Good to have you guys here. Thank you for joining me. It is Friday evening. Awesome to be here with you guys. As always, my favorite place to be on a Friday night. I hope it's yours too. We got a great show tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can see the chat. These are all bonuses right here. We got good stuff happening. Let's rock and roll and do this thing. Getting started, you can see the thumbnail there. That is me with Mo Gadot, the former Chief Business Officer of Google X and AI expert and everything cutting edge, superstar, Silicon Valley type, cutting edge technology, all that. But Mo Gadot has a great message, a lot to say about the future coming of AI. We're going to cover that. We're also going to be talking about just what the hell's going on with the Iran war and the overall situation out there. Everybody can hear me? Okay. Everyone hear me, see me? Awesome. Let me see. Working good? Okay, great. I can see you guys. Let me see. Mark says frozen. I can see myself on my phone, so I don't know. Check your internet. I hope it's not me. I hope it works. Okay, you guys got me? Everyone's got me? Awesome. Okay, good. Let's rock and roll. Let's talk about stuff here. Call your friends, call your neighbors, tell them we're live, we're rocking and rolling. We're going to have a great time. Tell them to get in here right now. Go ahead and share that link, share this live stream so they can see all of us and be a part of the greatest chat on YouTube and have an awesome time. All right. And don't forget, before we even get started, I've got a pinned comment in the chat for my free live seminar tomorrow. It's a private Zoom link. I think I've got like 45 people, something like that, 50 people already signed up. Totally free. Sign up, register, okay? You got to register. The link is in the chat right now, pinned in the chat. Just go ahead and click on that, get registered. If you can't make it, you can't make it, but it goes at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. It'll be about an hour and a half. It's going to be awesome, okay? Talk about Ferocious Optimism, my Ferocious Optimism framework, high performance stuff, how to get more, do more, just kill and win in life. All right, let's rock and roll. So, what has been going on? There's a lot going on, all right? No joke at all. I called for war on Monday. I said, we're going to war. It's going to be crazy. War is happening. Hasn't happened just yet, but just hold on. Don't get excited. Where we are, just like the thumbnail says, we're at a fork in the road. And I'm going to tell you about this fork in the road later tonight. The fork in the road says off-ramp or go to World War III. Total war, full war in Iran, or we off-ramp. Take a big embarrassment, political loss. Doesn't look good for Trump. Doesn't look good for Netanyahu. But who cares? Too bad. So stupid. Okay? Or we go full war and we actually flip the regime and change the regime. But we'll get to that later. Okay? So welcome back, everybody. It is Friday night. You survived another week on planet Earth, which, as it turns out, right about now, that's pretty amazing. Honestly, pretty damn impressive right now. Let me catch you up on the week in case you were living your life and not doom scrolling till 2 a.m. or watching the news all the time, kind of like yours truly will be doing as well. All right. So we kind of have a ceasefire extended, kind of, sort of, indefinitely, kind of, sort of, on certain days in certain places, if nobody does anything wrong. Okay. And here's how it works. We bomb, they see ships, we extend the ceasefire, they don't show up to talks, we extend it again. Iran says the blockade's an act of war, we say the ceasefire is fragile, and we say we've won, and we're winning, and they want to give up, and they're going to give us everything they want. Of course they want to make a deal with Trump. Of course they do, because everyone does. But at this point, this ceasefire is so fragile, it should come with some kind of warning label or something, right? Like those thin ice signs you ignore in January and you're falling in, or the January New Year's resolution that you did not keep. That is also very thin and fragile. Okay. So Trump extended the ceasefire again, right? Because Iran's government is, and I'm quoting the president, seriously fractured. Okay. So, I mean, with all due respect, sir, you're referring to every government on earth pretty much, okay? That's not a reason to pause the war. John Bolton, his former secretary of, I don't know what, he was an ambassador and he was the national security advisor actually in the first term, says we never should have gone into the ceasefire. We're just benefiting Iran. If you wanted the deal, you should have kept the pressure on. Okay? This is someone with a lot of statesmanship, statescraft experience and saying they don't know what the hell they're doing as far as this goes. Okay? That was back on Monday and Tuesday. So JD Vance and crew went out there. The Iranians didn't go, although I see some possibly misleading news, possibly fake news that they're going out there today, possibly. We'll see. Okay? The whole thing is that this is the only alternative, the off-ramp, letting them think that they won, okay? And us saying we won, they say they won, not caring about anything else except for our own national interest and getting out of there. This is the alternative. This is the fork in the road to World War III, okay? So we're going to get into this some more. But before we do that, I want to give some shout-outs. What's going on, Mark? Good to have you. Mark, you're early in. You notified me, said, hey, are we going live tonight? And I'm so glad you did. I was in the middle of hustling, man. This has been a busy week this week, okay? So, yeah, Lisa, what's going on? I have myself wondering, too. I pulled it off, though. I'm very glad, very happy to be here. Pulled it off. Brian, what's going on? Great to have you. Who else we got over here in the chat? Brian Plummer. Okay, I got TM, right? Okay, NFL draft. Stay with me. Much more fun. You already know what's going to happen over there. All right. Awesome. Great to have you, T. Let's rock and roll, and let's do this. Get in this some more. So meanwhile, what else happened this week? Or over the past couple weeks, really some more of a roundup. But Tucker Carlson, who used to call Trump a genius, has now totally dumped him, right? And, Trump's going after him as well, too. Trump's calling him kooky. Tucker's calling him vile. I just had a Tourette's moment there almost. These are two men that used to share mutual admiration for each other, but now each is saying that, we're leading the other one into a war crime. Trump keeps saying he wants nukes. He wants them to have nukes, all these things like that. Okay. But I want to tell you that one of the big things here, big thing here, okay, is that we're going to see later tonight, there might actually be some evidence that points to the fact that there is something over in Iran that could be turned into a nuclear weapon, okay? And this is something called plutonium. We're going to talk about this. I'm going to bring it up later. Okay, stick around to the end. We're going to get into that. First act, we are going to talk about Mo Gadot, the AI guru, former Google X business chief officer at Google X, okay? Now he's a speaker, a writer, all this stuff like that, but he's got amazing things to say about AI in the future and what's going on there. And then we're going to get into our current events segment, talking about the Iran war and everything happening with that, okay? And we will talk about the plutonium. We will talk about possible options, what's going in now. Where is this fork in the road that I've been talking about? And just how is hell coming, as I've titled it? Is hell coming? Well, according to Mo Gadot, it is, okay? And this dude's quite the winner, all right? I'm going to tell you, all right? He's quite the guru and all this stuff. Let me see here. Pedro, many contenders, only one winner. Okay. And Pedro, okay, got you. Yeah, I don't know. We got a lot of stuff happening here. Okay, guys, just keep it all above board so I don't have to, kick you out of the chat. You can have your opinions and all those things, but let's not get nuts, okay? And anyway, make sure we don't get shut down by YouTube either, okay? So that's what I'll say. But I'm sure the chat will let me know if people get sideways in the chat, and then we will do what we always do, and you will go bye-bye. It'll be gone, okay? So, great to have you guys here, and let's rock and roll. Let's do this. All right, I forgot to mention, too, we talked about this last week, but when Trump posted an AI-generated image of himself looking like a glowing Jesus figure on Easter Sunday, we can't forget this, okay? This was kooky. He said he thought I looked like a doctor. Doctors don't glow, but now that we know that you're a doctor, maybe you can give us the prescription for all these things going on, right? So the other part I want to talk to you guys about that I thought it was nuts. Did you guys hear about this Army, the Green Beret Give me a 1 in the chat if you guys heard about the Green Beret. Awesome. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it. Give me a 1 in the chat if you heard about this Green Beret that got caught betting. He was betting on the war. Anybody hear about that? Totally nuts. Okay? He was caught betting on the war. Actually on Maduro's capture. That's it. He was caught betting on Maduro's capture before the operation went down. Before the operation happened. Okay? So this guy went into whatever the hell, what's this thing called he was in? His name's Master Sergeant Gannon Van Dyke. He bet that Maduro would be captured before January 31st on the Polymarket account. He opened a Polymarket account the night before, bet $33,000. He walked away with $409,000. Now, I have huge respect for the Special Forces, okay? You guys know I've worked with them. Some of my great friends are Special Forces operators, and tremendous respect. I've been in no kidding, in combat with them, right? Direct combat, done missions side by side. Great guys, amazing. But every now and then they're kooky ones, all over the world, all walks of life. This guy definitely is one of the kooky ones, right? So he was entrusted with classified information that could have gotten his teammates killed if it got in the wrong hands, okay? And he used it to bet on crypto. Did you guys hear about this? Let me see in the chat. Give me your ones. Okay, yeah, you heard about that. Stoned Actual, what's going on, man? Good to have you. Yeah, Maduro raid. Actually freaking nuts. I think Nate did a video on this, if I'm wrong, if you guys saw it, but check out Nate's video. He always does a great deep dive. Yeah, he was involved in the raid planning. Okay? I haven't seen Nate's video yet on Valhalla, but I think he's done one. And if he hasn't, he will be soon. Just I know him. So he then converted all the winnings into a foreign cryptocurrency vault, thinking nobody would find him, okay? And you guys know me, I'm a crypto guy, right? You know I'm big on crypto. We've covered it in the lives before. We covered it in the channel, and I will be doing it again, all right? The cryptocurrency transactions on the blockchain are permanent. It's easy forensics for the FBI or for anybody, okay? So he recorded these transactions in the blockchain. So there's no hiding it. This is not Secret Squirrel right here. This guy was not ready to be James Bond, I'll tell you that much. Something probably they didn't cover at Green Beret Special Forces selection or the long course, okay? The blockchain does not forget. Federal investigators traced every single transaction from the payout wallet all the way back to him. And there's no pseudonym, no hiding. It's a fairy tale on the blockchain, okay? So, interesting, but President Trump, whose social media company is literally launching its own prediction market, I kid you not, said he would look into federal employees betting on classified information. He said, and I quote, "The whole world has become somewhat of a casino." This is Atlantic City. He owns casinos, all these things like that. Sir, come on. I mean, your company is the casino, right? You have your own coins and all these things like that, and you're playing casino with the entire world's economy right now. What you say, making the markets go up, price of oil go down, all these things like that. Oh my gosh. So, but it's also a cautionary tale that we have to be very careful who has the classified information, because some men could have been killed. The whole mission could have been compromised. It could have gone really, really bad. So I'll get off my soapbox about that. Are you guys ready to rock and roll? We are going to go ahead and put our first poll in the chat for you guys right here. Smash that like button. I appreciate it, Star. That's right. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Okay, subscribing really helps the channel out a lot. Liking helps it out. Sharing, if you know someone that's going to like this and like to be inside the live stream tonight and get a lot out of it, and going to like this vibe, go ahead and send it to them and let them jump on in here. We'll be live for a little while. I don't know if it'll be a Benathon, but it will be a good one for sure. Yeah, Brian spot on. He violated his oath for money. Is the hardest thing to swallow. I agree 100%. Okay, first poll. Let me think here. Okay. Do you think AI? Let me see. Do you think AI will let me see. AI will end. What should I say here? Do you think AI will replace 10% or more of jobs in the next year? I hate even to put that up there, but I'm just going to put it up there. Okay? I got to put it up there. Guys, I have a fiduciary responsibility to you. You know that. I feel responsible to bring you the very best, accurate information, not bring you conspiracy theory, not bring you BS, but things you can use in your lives, okay, that will actually help you. So please, if you're new here, like, subscribe, share, comment as well. That'd be great. And go ahead and vote in our poll. And we get the poll results. We can all learn together. But before we go any further, we got to do a round of applause. The round of applause here for the best chat in YouTube. And this is for all you guys. Here we go. Fire it up. All right, that's for you guys. We're getting ready to rock and roll. Fire it up over there. Jumping jacks, get up and down. And let's go ahead and get this thing started. And welcome to the best chat on YouTube, everybody. They're here, your chat superstars. And they will keep things straight. And make sure you have a great time and a lot of fun. They are the superstars in this. They are the stars. I am merely the one providing the background noise. All right, you guys ready? Give me a fire symbol in the chat or a 1. Fire symbol or a chat. Fire symbol in the chat or a 1 if you're ready. You're ready for what's coming next. And we're going to unroll Mo Gadot, our leadership profile for this week, and get this going. All right, here we go with Mr. Mo. Let me see those 1s and fire symbols. I'll know you guys are ready. You ready to roll? I got my awesome coffee mug right here. That says courage and discipline. That's my own logo. This is what I need every morning. I drink out of this and I remind myself all I need is courage and discipline. Then on the other side, I'm a ferocious optimist. Greatness is within me. Okay? Greatness is within you. Have an exciting vision, make a solid plan, then work it every damn day. I'm telling you, this thing motivates me every morning. You can get your own inside my shop in the channel. Link in the bio. You want to get your own mug? I think it's like $10 or something like that. I don't know, 10, 13 bucks. Get your own, and you can wake up in the morning and realize all you really need is courage and discipline, and you're going to go get it, all right? I just drank some courage and discipline, liquid courage in the form of coffee, so I can bring the fired up energy to you guys. Coffee and caffeine is a performance enhancer. Make no mistake about it. Performance enhancing drug. So yes, I'm on PEDs. I'm on coffee right now. Oh yeah, I'm ready. Here we go. Or as Jake says sometimes, now it's a 5-bag. I remember when Jake used to say he would drink a 3-bag tea. 3 tea bags, and he'd drink it and get him crazy. Now, Jake drinks 5 tea bags in there. So Jake, if you're listening, shout out, brother. Let's go. Okay, let's see Mr. Mo Gadot, everybody. Welcome, Mr. Mo Gadot. This is him. I'm reading some of his books right now. He's got quite a few books out there. I'm going to tell you a little bit about him before we kick it off, okay? So we'll pause it right here until I get into it some more. Let me tell you about Mr. Mo Gadot. I have some notes here because it's important, okay? He's a cutting-edge AI guy from Google X. And let me get into my notes real quick here, guys. Okay, Mo Gadot, Gawdat. AI, the future, and what it means for our leaders. So this guy is a teacher. He's a tech guy. He's AI, Google X. He's had some real tragedy happen in his life, too. His son was tragically killed, died when he was young. I think he was like 20 years old. And so he went through a real deep dive. He had all this amazing success, all the money you can imagine. He's making $5 or $10 million bonuses as the Google X Chief Business Officer, okay? You know, you can imagine you're getting paid. He's being paid a couple million a year. Then he's getting like a $5 or $10 million bonus. He's got everything anybody could ever want, right? Respect, authority, cutting edge, total amazing insight every day, working with the greatest minds on the coolest projects. And he was there in the development of Gemini and all the greatest AI, okay? So with him, okay, I want to say that everybody right now is talking about AI, before we get deeper into him, okay? Founders, executives, senior leaders, everybody, right? Day-to-day people as well. But I think nobody truly understands, me included, what's actually coming, okay? Because nobody's actually having the right conversations about it. What I'm going to show you, Mo Gadot is having these right conversations and what it means. So when I introduce you to him, I believe he's one of the most important thinkers. I want you to frame him like that. He's one of the most important AI thinkers out there, okay, for this topic. And he was the chief business officer at Google. He also was the one helping to lead Google's moonshot division overall, okay? Calling the projects, greenlighting the projects they thought were most important. He works on the projects that are so advanced that most people can't even conceptualize what they work on at this place, all right? Before that, he held senior leadership roles at Google and Microsoft. He's built teams and led teams at scale, huge, most people will never experience. And then, like I said, suddenly his son Ali died. Suddenly at 21 years old, it's 21. Okay, it was supposed to be a routine surgery. The most precious thing in his life was taken away. I know we can all identify with that on some level, okay? And this guy who had every external marker of success had to confront the most fundamental question, okay? So he's not just an AI guy. He's also AI, the meaning of life. What is the purpose of our lives too? And he blends all these things together. So stay with me because it's going to be really powerful. And he has to confront the most fundamental questions a human being can ask. What actually makes life worth living? And you know, here on my channel, if you've been to my free seminar, the one this Saturday, we will be talking about some of these things. Okay, if you've ever worked with me before and you've seen some of my other videos in the lives and otherwise, we talk about these things. What actually makes life worth living? And out of Mo's grief came a formula. And by the way, the link for my seminar tomorrow, my free seminar, 6 p.m. Eastern time, is in the chat right now. Click, register, totally free, no strings attached, no expectations. Just do it. It'll be awesome, okay? Private Zoom call. We can see each other, talk to each other. I'm going to have a big Q&A at the end, too. I answer all your questions. The Q&A alone is worth it, all right? But out of Mo's suffering and the loss of his son came a formula, an algorithm, actually, as he said. He's an engineer, so of course it's an algorithm, right? That's what he says. He calls this the happiness equation. The happiness equation means that happiness is greater than or equal to your perception of events. Now, anyone here who knows me, and all of you do in the chat, you know I say the same thing. The one thing we can control is the way we choose to see our life, the way we choose to interpret the events around us. The one thing you control is your attitude. Originally, this was taught by a man named Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl wrote Man's Search for Meaning, okay? He wrote this when he was in a Nazi death camp in World War II. Think about that. Saw his whole family killed, okay? He wrote this book, Man's Search for Meaning. And the ultimate kernel, the core of it is that the thing you can control, the one thing you can control is your attitude and the way you choose to see what's happening in your life. And no one can take that from you, okay? And this is what Mo is saying. Happiness is greater than or equal to your perception of events minus, this is key, very key, minus your expectations of how life should be, okay? I want you to think about that. Really think about that. Minus your expectations of how life should be. Happiness isn't about what happens to you. It's about the gap between what happens and what you expected to happen, okay? It's profound, and it directly applies to leadership. All right, well, let's get into this right now, and I'll talk some more about Mo in a second. But first of all, Brian Plummer, congratulations, man. Awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Big round of applause now for Brian Plummer, contributing to the mission. Thank you, Brian. Let's keep that stuff up right there. All right, here we go. Get fired up. We're going to learn some great stuff tonight and have a lot of fun. Brian, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, Mo Gadot, we are ready. And we are going to rock and roll on this. I'm going to make his side a little bigger so you can pay attention to him. And without any further ado, introducing Mo Gadot.
The only way for us to get to a better place and succeed as a species is for the evil people at the top to be replaced with AI. I mean,
Woo.
think about it. AI will not want to destroy ecosystems. It will not want to kill a million people. They'll not make us hate each other like the current leaders, because that's a waste of energy, explosives, money, and people. But the problem is super intelligent AI is reporting to stupid leaders. And that's why in the next 15 years, we are going to hit a short-term dystopia. There's no escaping that.
Having AI leaders, is that even fundamentally possible?
Let's put it this way.
Mo Gawdat is back, and the former chief business officer at Google X is now one of the most urgent voices in AI with a very...
Okay, so that's Mo, introduction to Mo Gadot and his message. But I want to see what you guys think about that, what he's saying in the chat, that there's nothing wrong with AI. He's saying, and you'll see this later too, we'll talk about it, the fact that we have to treat our AI. And honestly, this gave me a whole new perspective on what has to happen. Okay. He said we need to treat our AI like a child, that you're raising children. Okay. So today I almost lost it on one of my AIs. And I almost was like, why are you so stupid? I didn't say that though. I said, okay, I tried to really treat it like an employee and like a leader. And so I think his vision of, AI is going to become so super empowered, but still tethered, he said, to really stupid people with bad character. And that's very scary. Okay. We're going to talk about that, talk about the possibility. He even discusses the universal income. Okay. Universal basic income and where that comes from. And if you didn't know this, universal basic income will be something that the companies that actually own the AI will pay a heavy tax. Okay. And the tax then will be distributed to all the people. So universal basic income will come in. However, this is the point. If you think that UBI is something that is always going to happen, universal basic income, they'll always pay it. Think of how powerful these corporations will be and how powerful these companies will be. They might someday just decide to be like, yeah, no, we're not paying this anymore. Okay. So there's a lot of concern out there. Again, when the AI is controlled by stupid people or people with bad intentions. Okay. So it's very, very important that we understand, I agree. I agree. Hopefully not a petulant, vindictive child, Brian. You're totally right about that. So yeah, it's a tool like anything else, needs to be managed appropriately. I totally agree. Lisa Jones is clapping in there. Mark's clapping. Love it. All right. Let's watch a little bit more of this, but it's so important to understand, the perspective of this isn't just going to take everything over and run itself. We're still going to be tied to people in political power who will be running the countries with super empowered. They'll be super empowered by AI, by super intelligence. Okay. Let me check out this next video from him. And he already talked about this a little bit, but this is the concept on Diary of a CEO that was brought up.
The AI of the United States, if they both have AIs as leaders, and how actually the nation that ends up winning out and dominating the world will be the one who asks their AI leader to be all the things that world leaders are today, to dominate,
Unfortunately,
to grab resources, not to be kind, to be selfish.
Unfortunately, in the era of augmented intelligence, that's what's going to happen.
So
this is why I predict the dystopia. The dystopia is super intelligent AIs reporting to stupid leaders. Right?
Yeah. Which
is absolutely going to happen. It's unavoidable.
But the long term.
Exactly. In the long term, for those stupid leaders to hold on to power.
Whoa, super intelligent AI reporting to stupid leaders. Super intelligent AI reporting to stupid leaders in the age of augmented intelligence. Okay. I think, and again, guys, we could just sit there and look at the news, snipe. We can talk trash, talk conspiracy. We can get mad about things. But again, I feel this responsibility on my show to have what the most important trends are, the mega trends that are going to change the world and change our lives. All right. 10%. Let's see where our poll's at right now. If we think it's going to be 10% possibly, do you think AI will replace 10% or more of jobs in the next year? Yes, 73%. No, 27%. Okay. That's very hopeful. But I'm here to tell you, AI is changing the world right now. It's not like a next year thing. It's right now it's happening. Okay. And if you can even recall, Mo Gadot did this. He actually, in his book in 2021, let me just come over here and make sure you guys can see this. But okay, so in 2021, his book called Scary Smart. He wrote this book, Scary Smart. And he basically said something that almost no one took seriously at the time. He said, believe it or not, AI would surpass human intelligence. Not eventually, very soon. And he gave a specific prediction. By 2049, okay, basically 23 years from now, AI would be 1 billion times smarter than humans. This is a real insider guy, okay? And he is not currently in the seat where he can't talk about things. Like he's not in Google. He's not in ChatGPT, OpenAI, okay? He's not in Anthropic. 1 billion times smarter than humans. Most people left. Then ChatGPT dropped. Then people started laughing, stopped laughing. People stopped laughing. Yeah, they started laughing because it was so scary. Here's what Mo says is actually happening. And I want you to really hear this as a leader, okay? We are no longer building tools. I talked about this earlier. We are raising children, okay? These chatbots, all right, these little portions of the AI that are directed towards us that we use on a daily basis. He says you're raising children. Give me a 1 in the chat if that's really kind of weird. I mean, that hit me weird. Give me a 1 in the chat if you think that's kind of freaky, okay? Because I thought this was so weird. I thought it was so weird. If the AI gets it wrong, then there's something wrong with the AI. My 2 cents. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. Let's see. But give me a 1 in the chat if you guys think that is just pretty damn strange, okay, to actually hear what his perspective is, that we are. Yeah, I thought so too. Von Star, I think that's how you say it. Let me see. Got Lisa. Okay. Yep, everybody, you see what I'm saying. It struck me as very strange to hear that. But that's his perspective on it, okay? That is his perspective on it. Let's listen a little bit more. And that's his framing. And it's not a metaphor. He means this literally, actually. AI systems learn from us. They observe our behavior, they absorb our values or our lack of values, and they model what we reinforce. How I look at it when I'm using AI in my business is that I need to treat it like an employee, okay? Treat it like it's a real thing, okay? The whole argument on AI consciousness, all these things like that, okay, that, these scientists will discuss. But for our purposes, it learns from you. It's modeling your behavior. So garbage in, garbage out, it'll probably benefit you to make sure it's fed good stuff, right? Mo's argument is that if we feed AI systems, they are primarily trained on our worst instincts, our addiction to outrage, our tribalism, our short-term thinking, and that we will raise something that reflects back those instincts back to us, okay? All right, let's watch this next one. Hear what he has to say here.
Let me be very, very clear. There is absolutely nothing wrong with artificial intelligence. There is absolutely no threat to be found in artificial intelligence. There is a lot wrong with the...
Give me a 1 in the chat if you believe he's right. There's no threat from artificial intelligence. Give me a 0 in the chat if you think there is a threat from artificial intelligence. Okay, again, a 1 in the chat if you believe he's right. There's no threat from artificial intelligence. A 0 in the chat if he's wrong and there is, in fact, a threat from artificial intelligence. Give me that now. And guys, if you haven't seen my interview with Andy Markoff, the CEO and founder of Smack Technologies, who is building the Iron Man overlay for the Department of War and for Future of War as well. Like you've all seen Iron Man in Marvel, where he has this whole display system targeting, makes decisions, tells him what the best decision is, and he does it, right? So he can outpace the enemy. They're building this, guys. They're building this. Andy Markoff is building this with Clint Alanis and Smack Technologies, okay? And it's wild stuff. So again, watch that interview. If you haven't seen the interview yet, it's on my channel. I think it was last month sometime, okay? So check that live interview out as well. You'll get a lot out of it. You can check out Smack Technologies too. But they're the next big players. They're raising a ton of money right now. Cody Fisher, thanks, brother. I appreciate you. Let me see what you got here. Thank you, Cody. AI is only to have more power. The devil paints the brightest, beautiful, easiest paths. Delusion is his mastercraft. The only true way to prevail is divine faith in our creator, not the created. I agree with you there, man. I agree with you there. AI can definitely get sideways. If we have the right people controlling the AI, we're good. Mo's point is that this is a tool. It's a tool. It's something that can be used for great good or it can be used for evil, right? So I think that's the important thing. We have to be very, very mindful of what, of who controls it and what it's used for. Okay, so thank you, Cody. I appreciate your support as always, brother. Great to have you in here too, man. Great to see you back. All right, guys, let's keep on rolling here. Let me see if you voted in our chat yet or in our poll. Do you think AI will replace 10% of more jobs in the next year? 72% yes, 28% no. All right, just want to get your take on it. And really what this is actually a question, more of a question of this. Do you think AI is that powerful right now? Okay, this is really what the question is, okay? It's actually a question. The poll is actually a question about the power of AI, okay? If you think it's powerful enough to do that. All right, let's listen to some more.
To be found in artificial intelligence. There is a lot wrong with the value system of humanity in the age of the rise of artificial intelligence, right? There is a lot wrong with the way humans will use this superpower, okay? So the way I look at it is I say it's like raising Superman, right? You adopt this infant who has superpowers. And if you teach the infant to protect and serve, becomes Superman. If you teach it to go and rob a bank and kill your enemy, it becomes supervillain. The superpower is irrelevant, okay? It's the value set that you create around raising that infant.
Yeah, the only thing I would say there that I think about, if you don't create something that has such a superpower, then you don't have a threat. There's no chance for a threat, right? It's like nuclear weapons by themselves just sitting there inert. Are they really a threat? No, they're only a threat if the wrong people get their hands on them. But their existence, period, if they didn't exist, nothing could happen. So this is very interesting. Very interesting. A lot of deep stuff. We're doing some deep stuff tonight, guys. Don't worry. We will get into strategy, global strategy, the Iran war. We're going to get into the possibility of Iran having actual material to build nuclear weapons. And maybe they don't know it yet, or maybe they don't understand how to use it. But we're going to see Ambassador John Bolton talk about this, okay? We're going to see that later, along with a few other things, okay? All about the Iran war, the fork in the road. We're either going to World War III and going to war all the way, or we're off-ramping and being done with this. We're going to talk about that. And, of course, we're going to get into our comedy segment at the end, okay? I got a different one tonight that I think is pretty funny. We're going to check that out. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Costs you nothing to like. Costs you nothing to subscribe, okay? You're going to help out the channel. You're going to help us out, help us to grow, help us to attract even more and more people to be on the show that are outside my circle right now that I can pull in and say, look, be here. You get to be with the best chat on YouTube, number one. Number two, you get to reach a really cool audience, all right? So we can attract people in. It really helps out. And just share it if you think people are going to get something out of it. Go ahead and share. And don't forget about my free seminar on Saturday. The link is in the chat right now, the pinned comment. Okay. Let's keep on listening to him. I think this is some profound stuff.
That will create the future of humanity. Now, there are 5 areas that I need to highlight as areas where you have to understand the change, okay? One of them, very important, is the area of power and wealth, okay? We humans have lived in a world of scarcity since we have started, a world of scarcity that basically says, for me to grow, my competitor has to shrink, okay? A world of scarcity that basically means I have to be the military superpower in the world, otherwise everyone will kill me, right? That world of scarcity is no longer going to be the truth, but going to get there, okay?
This is interesting. He's saying the world of scarcity is going to come to an end. Therefore, the way in the past we used to compete, right? Like the age of colonialism, the age of conquest. I think that age came I thought it came to an end until recently, but was largely put to an end with free market economies and the global trade system. Through trade, that created a rising tide where all boats were lifted across the world. Okay. In China, you saw 500 million people come out of poverty that were in deep, deep poverty. And I'm not talking poverty like, oh, I've got one TV, I've got a 10-year-old car. Man, you know, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm living off welfare. That is poverty, make no mistake. There's a poverty line. I'm talking starving to death poverty. Okay. I'm talking tens of millions of people in China in the Great Leap Forward in the 60s dying of starvation. Okay. Crazy levels of poverty, right? So let's hear what he's saying. How is this age of scarcity going to end?
Okay. I think what's going to end up happening is we're going to apply the same mentality of collecting as much power and wealth as we can. Now, let me help you understand this. If you look back at human history, there was a time when we were hunter-gatherers. So basically, the best hunter in the tribe would be able to maybe feed the tribe for a day more, 2 days more.
Okay, and what he's saying is that what's going to happen is that AI is going to be blowing away, creating so much abundance. And really, it's through the tax base, like I talked about before, that's going to create the universal basic income. But again, these companies are going to be so powerful that they might be able to just say, yeah, go pound sand. And then, have you guys seen, put a 1 in the chat if you have seen the new Alien series. I think it's like Alien, it's like an Alien TV series. If you guys have seen that, where they have these super corporations in the first waves of trillionaires, where they're like cloning people. If you guys seen that, put a 1 in the chat if you've seen that. You know, I'm into all the sci-fi stuff. I love all that. Okay. Oh, here we go. Propaganda. I've read the studies. There's no way it's replacing any jobs in the next year. Okay, maybe. Here we go. The communist utopia talk. It's magic. Communism will work this time. They swear. I don't know. This is what they're saying with the AI. But the only thing is that then they control the universal basic income, right? So I don't know if this is a good thing, even if they could do it, because you create a whole world reliant upon this tax base. So a lot to think about here. Tiam, predictive modeling is pretty powerful. I've used some of it in criminology to assess risk. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Cody Fisher. I will disagree a bit. AI is simply a control tool. Okay. Interesting. Let's see what else we got. Giovanni. God bless everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Hey, you too, Giovanni. Mark, I wonder what countries would use it for evil. I can only imagine. Who would it be? Let's see. Universal basic income has failed in every single pilot program. Yeah, I mean, propaganda, you're right about that. You're right. And honestly, with you saying that, you have great past evidence, right? I mean, future performance can be judged from past performance. Past performance is a predictive, is the best way to predict how the future performance is going to be. So you have a great thing you're saying there for sure. But we will see. Okay. But have you guys seen that series with the aliens? And you know I'm going to get back to my UFOs soon too. But with the aliens, okay, and it's like an alien. The aliens, you know, like the monsters, all that stuff. It's based on that, okay. And the thing is this: that they have these super corporations with trillionaires that own them. All right, and that's, to me, this is what it feels like we would go to. We'd have such people controlling so much power and wealth. Let's say like OpenAI versus Anthropic versus Google. Okay, you'd have the 3 companies that are the most powerful companies on earth. I think that's what I think of for this. Okay, let's listen a little bit more to what he has to say. We'll go through this and we'll get to our strategic analysis here very soon. All right, so don't worry, we will be doing that. All right, here's Mo talking about a little bit more on the AI, and he's talking about how fast and how powerfully it's grown.
My AI startup took me 6 weeks to build. If I had started in 2022, it would have taken me 4 years. And when you really think about that, that basically means everyone now has a chance.
This is Mo, former Chief Business Officer at Google X, where he spent over a decade running business innovations. He says everyone now has a chance, but only if they understand what's actually coming.
The skill of an entrepreneur in the past was the ability to foresee something in the future that no.
Guys, I think this is so important. Okay, so if you are someone interested in entrepreneurship or business, which is part of what I coach as well too. Okay, coach people to grow their businesses. I coach founders, owners, executives, C-suite executives, rising leaders, you name it. Okay, and then people that are just aspiring to achieve more and hit their goals this year. Okay, I do that in my Ferocious Optimist coaching membership. I do it one-on-one. I do it with companies, sales teams, you name it. Okay, but listen to what he's saying, because everybody has a chance right now. Because again, the job of an entrepreneur in the past was to play this chess game of predictive analysis to predict what was going to happen in the future and be right about it. And he's saying right now that's not it. It's who can hustle and move the fastest, because we all have these super empowered teams of AI helping us. Okay? So please pay attention to this. Again, this is very valuable stuff. That's why I bring it here for you. Okay? It's valuable for me. I hope it's valuable for you, but listen with an open mind.
An entrepreneur in the past was the ability to foresee something in the future that no one else saw and to prepare for that. That's a game of chess is over. It's off the table. This has turned into squash. I'm just basically saying get prepared.
How much time do we have to prepare?
Within the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to...
Ooh, and you see why I'm bringing this up, guys? You see why in the poll I'm saying, what do you think? Is it going to take 10% of jobs? Okay. The way you protect yourself from this, though, is learn how to use it. Don't look at this like the enemy. You learn how to use it. How can it help you in your current business or what you're doing? Okay. Super, super important. You got to learn how to use it and how to harness it. All right, let's listen some more.
To see a massive shift in the jobs market. So you asked me, what should we do? Number one, learn the skills. Number two.
Well, thank you so much.
All right, he'll go into some more. I'm going to go to this next one right here, because he talks a little bit about that here. Okay, so check this out. This is about what he thinks predicting for the job market.
Like 5-year periods for myself and my family, right? And if in the next 5 years, you said 10% of jobs will be gone,
way
right?
more than 10%.
Way more. Okay, what types of jobs do you think?
Monotonous jobs.
Let's
will be
rewind that real quick.
Right? And if in the next 5 years, you said 10% of jobs will be gone,
way
right?
more than 10%.
Way more. Okay, what types of jobs do you think?
A monotonous job is going to be taken away. Like if you're a call center agent, if you're a clerk, you're a researcher, you're an accountant, why would you want to do that with anything but AI? If you're an assistant.
You know what I feel like? People talk about this a lot, like,
Correct.
oh, a job's going to be gone. Yeah, this could be. And as an entrepreneur, I see how certain tasks I'm performing them with AI, but I'm still hiring and hiring and hiring, because AI can start from the beginning.
I think she's talking too much. It's like you're not the star here, lady. Let him talk. she's cutting off the guy she has on her show. How ridiculous. And he's just like getting annoyed. Like, okay, that's enough. I mean, wow. Anyway, weird. But all right, let's listen a little bit more here. And hopefully this informs you a little more for your decision in your poll vote.
It can do parts.
Of course, because of the technology acceleration curve.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what you build first in any complex technology, you build the core tech first, and then you build the human interfaces. The challenge why AI cannot do head of operations job today is not because it's less organized than a head of operations. It's not because it cannot comprehend all of the information that a head of operations has. Okay, it's because it has to understand the stupid interfaces of humans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's basically saying that we as humans are holding the AI back. That's wild stuff, man. That's wild stuff. Let me jump in the chat here. Brian Plumber, problem with socialist ideas, the fact that people who don't strive and push don't break creative barriers. That's very true. Okay. Oh, wait a second. So propaganda, you don't use AI at all? Okay. I ran an experiment. I asked it about a current case in court, asked it about case law. It made cases up out of whole cloth. Okay, yeah. That's true. That's true. It'll do that. Typical modern. Cody, you were feeling that. You were feeling it. Like I was like, why? Be quiet. You have this guy on here as a powerhouse, and you're not letting him talk. What's up, Green Line Challenger? What's up, man? High five. Awesome to have you. Yeah, I brought Cody. You were feeling that too, man. I was like, what? Cody, okay, I see that. Let's see. Anybody else in here? All right, great to have you, man. Green Line Challenger, awesome having you here. All right, guys, let's keep rocking and rolling. We happy few, we band of brothers. People are afraid of listening about AI and Mo Gadot, but you're all becoming stronger, right? It's just like in Apocalypse Now, that scene in Apocalypse Now, right? Where, he's every day he's out in the world, he's getting weaker, while Charlie's getting stronger. We got to learn what the enemy's doing. We got to learn what the possible enemy of AI is doing. I don't think AI is going to be an enemy, me personally. I think it has the potential to become horrible in the wrong hands. And if we don't develop it properly, I agree with that. There are all kinds of crazy stuff that can happen. But, it's here. It's here. And so I think we need to take the reins and take the bull by the horns and try to use it properly. Let's listen a little bit more.
And it will, sooner or later.
When do you think?
So the question of when, in my mind, is irrelevant.
But no, it's like, how much time do we have to prepare? Because head of operations, middle class.
I tend to believe that within the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to see a massive shift in the jobs market. Already this year, you've seen a shift in hiring of new grads.
Yeah, 30% less, I think.
23 is my number, but
Wow, 23% less new hires of new graduates. New college graduates, 23% less hiring this year because AI is taking jobs away, okay? Guys, I don't have the answers. I'm just bringing you the best information I can. You make your decisions. It's BS. It's not real. It's good. It's bad. It's up to you, okay? I'm going to bring you the best information. I'll bring you my best analysis. I'll tell you what I think, okay? But at the end of the day, just like I tell everybody I coach, you have to make your own decision. But as long as you are making the best decision you can based upon solid information, the best quote unquote facts that you can find, and then you got to see what aligns with your personal mission, what aligns with your goals, what matches with your values, and you go from there and you don't look back, okay? I just want to make sure that you're able to use this as a tool to help you to super empower whatever you're doing, to do some computational tasks, some mundane tasks, maybe take some things off the table for you, okay? And it definitely can help out for that. All right, let's keep rolling here. Got some more stuff to cover on this, and then we will move on to our current events, the Iran war, strategic analysis coming very soon.
you have a massive amount of power, as you can see today in one specific army being powered by the US funds and a lot of money, fighting against peasants, really, that have no weapons almost at all. Some of them are militarized, but the majority of 2 million people are not. And so there is massive, massive power that basically says, you know what, I'm going to oppress as far as I go. And I'm going to do whatever I want because the cheerleaders are going to be quiet or they're going to cheer. What happens is maximum power threatened by a democracy of power leads to a loss of freedom for everyone. You have a massive amount of power, as you can see today in one specific.
Ooh, that was some pretty heavy stuff right there. I don't know about you guys, but that was like, I need to play that again. That was some pretty heavy stuff, you know? And he's talking about a massive amount of power threatens the freedom of everyone. So again, when we look at how this pertains to AI, what he's saying is that as one country or two or three becomes so massively empowered by AI, they're going to create an even greater gap, even greater cliff, if you will, between the rest of the world and the countries that are powered by AI. Unbelievable, man. Wow. Hey, Lady Ann, what's going on? Good to have you. Let's see here. We got Green Line Challenger. You're here. DeGriff. Hey, awesome, DeGriff. Great to have you, man. Cody Fisher. Yep. You got some points, my friend. I think Green Line Challenger. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think you're right. The wrong tools in the wrong people's hands, almost with anything, can end up badly, right? We talked about nuclear weapons. We're talking about, AI in this case. Yeah. Great to have you, Lady Ann. All right, let's keep on rolling. Propaganda, you got a big one there. Okay. Yeah. And propaganda, you might be right, totally. For right now. Honestly, today I was about to throw my phone across the room because I couldn't get one stupid thing right. So if it saves you time, just remember, if you can get it to do something to save you time in your job or in tasks you're working on, then just use it. Let it help you save time. Okay. If it can do an hour task in 20 minutes for you in 10 minutes, let it do it. I mean, honestly, that's my advice. You do what you want, but I'm going to try and bring you guys the best info I can, things that can upgrade your life, things that can improve your life, information, ideas, analysis that'll help you have more clarity in what's going on, and also some good tools and strategies to improve your life. That's my whole point of this channel, and that's what we are doing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Anybody new out there, vote in our poll. And it turns out Mo Gadot is saying within 5 years, it'll be many, many more jobs than 10%. Okay, so I was probably a little bit hasty on that one. I'm going to go ahead and end that poll, and we're going to get a new one. We're going to get a new poll here in a second. But let's listen to this. One more from him.
There is a lot wrong with the value set, with the ethics of humanity at the age of the rise of the machines. Every technology we've ever created just magnified human abilities. You can walk at 5 kilometers an hour. You get in a car and you can now go 250, 280 miles an hour, basically magnifying your mobility. You can use a computer to magnify your calculation abilities or whatever. And what AI is going to magnify, unfortunately, at this time, is it's going to magnify the evil that man can do.
Whoa, what do you guys think about that? Do you think he's right? Do you think AI will magnify the evil that men can do? Give me a 1 in the chat if you agree with Mo Gadot, that statement that unfortunately right now, AI will have the ability right now to magnify the evil that men can do. That's some powerful stuff. Yeah, TM, I agree. It is really cool stuff, man. It's incredible. Ooh, yeah, that'd be cool to see it train your dog, Green Line Challenger. That'd be really cool. Yep. And so, yeah, I got you, Cody. Yep. 1, definitely possible. Hey, Cedric, what's going on, brother? Good to have you. Cedric up in the house. Yeah, I think so too. I agree with him. But see, so for me, guys, I wanted to have this on here because I think this is the conversation a lot of us aren't having. We're talking about all these different things about AI. Is it good? Is it bad? It could take jobs. But he's talking about, you know, the fundamental questions of AI and existence and connecting it to the humans that are raising it like children, and the evil leaders is what he said. Okay. I'm just quoting him right now, no matter whatever you think. All right. Nick, what's up, brother? Helter Zeltzer up in here. So there is a lot going on with this, a lot to consider. Great to have you guys. Cedric says open source AI and offline AI sound better. Interesting. Yep. That already has. Propaganda says. Yep. Cody Fisher. Look into Palantir. Yeah. I know. You know, I just heard that, Cody. Something, and actually, Cody, you prompted me to say something here because here's the thing that, did you know, I'm sure you guys knew this, but give me a 1 in the chat. I heard this, and I believe I heard it from Mo Gadot, possibly, when I was doing the research for today's show, that Palantir AI decision is what led to the school bombing in Iran. Okay, it was an AI generated targeting decision that led to that bombing. Okay, and you guys put a 1 in the chat if you heard the same thing, and tell me I'm wrong. But if it's a 0, tell me 0. You haven't heard that, or 0, I'm wrong, and tell me why. Okay, because that is something I recently heard, and I was like, damn, okay, you know, and you know, I'm thinking about these AI decision-making tools, these kind of the seeing eye of Sauron, right, in Lord of the Rings, the all-seeing eye, and the power that it wields. Okay, 100% confirmed. Okay, thanks, Cody. I appreciate that. Yep. Nutty, man. It's nutty stuff. We're going into a different world right now. Definitely a different world, okay? So let's keep listening. Again, this is for your information, and this is for you to make decisions with an emerging technology that is changing the world right now. Okay, guys? And like I always say, the more you know about it, the better you can live in accordance with your own personal values, your own life, make your own decisions. And if it turns out to be like a car, I'm going to tell you right now, at the turn of the century, last century, there were many people who they asked, what kind of car would you want? I'd want a better horse. They didn't want a car. They didn't want to see roads. They're like, asphalt roads belting the earth. This is ugly. We want our usual roads. We want horses, better horses, you know? So if this turns out to be like cars and everyone has one all the time, they have AI everywhere, everything's just faster, think of how you can use it to help your life. And that you can use it in a responsible, values-based way that is in alignment with who you are. And I always talk about core identity. Tomorrow, in my free seminar tomorrow, the link is in the chat. Click on that, register, you'll get it. But I'm going to really deep dive on identity tomorrow. The power of identity, knowing who you are and who you're becoming and why, and not letting anybody touch that. Knowing what the highest and best version of yourself is, okay? And not letting anybody steer you away from that. Keeping that vision strong in your mind. The power of the core identity. This applies to a world with AI too. You don't need to use it like other people, okay? Just my 2 cents. All right, let's listen a little bit more here. He's got some more to say.
And it is within our hands completely. But I have to say, I don't think humanity has the awareness at this time to focus on this so that we actually use AI to build the utopia. There is a lot wrong with the value.
Wow. Humanity does not have the awareness right now of this. Okay. All right. So we are going to jump into Iran here in a second. Guys, give me a 1 in the chat. Give me a 1 or a fire symbol, something in the chat. If you got something out of that leadership profile with Mo Gadot, just give me some instant feedback. Was that helpful? Was that useful? Did you learn something? Did you get something out of that? Okay. I want to just get some feedback. Awesome. Okay, cool. Brian Plummer, even if you think AI is your enemy, you have to know how. Yes, I agree 100%. So we do in the Marine Corps, right? Let's see. Lisa, looking forward to that. Fire symbol. Cedric Meyer, our own modern cars send off your weight and other data to God knows where. Yeah, you're right. Post 2024 vehicles are apparently built with odometers. Whoa, countries for future possible taxation. Interesting. Awesome. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. I know you like those. I saw your poll answer, the poll I took. Lady Ann, thank you. Cedric, awesome. Yes, of course, seminar. Yeah. I mean, Cedric, sorry. Of course you can attend the seminar. Yeah, dude, go for it, man. It's 3 p.m. California time, okay? So if that one works, just register no matter what so you have it. If you can make it, get in there, okay? It'd be awesome to have you. Brian Plummer, awesome. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Mech. Awesome. I'm glad. Yeah, I mean, this is a guy who's trying to educate, right? I'm glad. Okay, good. Green Line Challenger. Most people say that life was better before the internet. I think, yeah, it'll do more harm than good. You might be right. I hope you're wrong. But it's scary, man. But until that time, I'm going to use it to help me. Until it turns into Terminator time. But, if it's Terminator time, it won't be bad shooting some of those things. Just saying. That could be kind of fun, So anyway, I grew up watching Terminator. And if they look like Arnold, even better. Then we could live the movie. Okay, DeGriff, you missed it. You have to watch playback. Okay, awesome. Big Ben, what's up, Jenks? How you doing, man? Yeah, Cedric, get in there. Good to have you here, Jenks. Flying Arrow, what's going on, man? Good to have you. Awesome, guys. Let's rock and roll. We are rolling. Let's do this. We're getting into our heavy-duty Iran segment. Now, there's a lot of stuff happening right now. A lot of stuff happening with Iran, okay? I talked about it in my opening tonight. We talked about what's happening, okay? But we're going to get into a little bit more that is very important for us to talk about, okay? The Iran situation and what's actually happening. But before I do that, again, drawing attention, my free live seminar, hint, hint, like the teacher or the teacher in high school, right? Professor knock on wood or, foot stomper. Free seminar tomorrow. The link is in the chat. Sign up. If you like this stuff, if you want to get on a live Zoom call with me and you want to hear me go bananas on identity, energy, the environment, how to make a breakthrough, how to optimize your performance, okay? How to overcome adversity, all these things like that, I'm giving a free seminar tomorrow, okay? It lets me serve at a higher level and an even higher level. And if you decide you want to work with me at the end, you want to join my Ferocious Optimist coaching membership or a new offering, I'm actually offering access to my inner circle tomorrow. The inner circle is only allowed for members that have been with me, okay? But tomorrow, I'm also going to offer a bundle. You can join my Ferocious Optimist coaching membership, which is one time a month. Plus, I have 3 inner circle mastermind sessions per month when you join the inner circle, okay? So that basically gives you a weekly mastermind coaching session throughout the whole month, okay, each week. And that bundle is $285 per month, all right? And the Ferocious Optimist coaching membership is $87.99 per month. Plus, you get access to the community. Plus, you're going to get access to my private library and vault of all past coaching seminars, okay? All past coaching sessions. There are 14 of them in the Ferocious Optimist coaching membership, plus 14 presentations. That's about 30 hours of content, okay? Plus, already 7 inner circles have taken place. That's another 10 to 12 hours of content, plus all the presentations also in there. So you're getting a massive, massive value. It's like I call the sessions in the Ferocious Optimist, and we're going to get right into the strategic analysis here in a second. Stick with me, 5 more seconds, okay? I call the sessions in the Ferocious Optimist coaching membership episodes. So you have episode 1, season 1, all the way to episode 12, season 1. Then you have episode 1, season 2, okay? We're in season 2 right now. In the inner circle, we already have 7 sessions done. You can binge watch as much as you want. I've got some new members right now that in 1 week watched like 5 episodes, okay? And they went through all the presentations, and they come back into the community and tell us their progress. They directly write to me and tell me what's going on. I coach them in the DMs in our private secure portal, okay? So it's absolutely awesome. You'll love it. If you love this stuff, you're looking for a breakthrough, you're looking for accountability, looking for leadership, motivation, awesome community, being with me more often, and being in a Zoom call, we can see each other, we can talk. Show up tomorrow, be there tomorrow. It's totally free. You can make a decision if you want to join tomorrow, okay? Or if you want to join right now, the link is in the bio. Go ahead and do that. It'll be awesome to have you. All right, let's go. It is time to talk about, it's not time for the leadership lessons in South Park yet, okay? But that is coming. Our comedy segment, our leadership segment at the end, leadership lessons in South Park, that's become like almost like a brand. We hang it on the third act. Doesn't necessarily mean there'll be South Park at the end, but there'll be something, all right? Let's talk about this now, okay? So, what is going on in the world right now? And I want to be very clear about something up front, okay? I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear and really what you want, okay? I'm going to give you the information, the strategic context, and my honest read as someone who spent 23 years inside the military, being a commander, going to combat, being a national level strategic planner, okay? And you're going to make your own decisions, just like we did for the Mo Gadot segment as well, too. All right? And here's where we are as of tonight. The U.S. and Iran have been at war since February 28th, where the U.S. joined Israel in striking targets inside Iran, okay? Striking military infrastructure. Iran's supreme leader was killed in those strikes. You know that. His son has been named successor. Iran's military has taken significant damage, no doubt about that. But Iran still controls one of the world's most powerful strategic levers in the global economy, and that is the Strait of Hormuz, okay? I know we say we control it. President Trump's saying we control it. They blockade it. We blockade it. They're taking ships. We're taking ships, okay? But I'm going to tell you, we said we destroyed Iran's Navy, and what did they do? They went and they launched fast attack boats at the ships, and they seized them, just like we did. It's almost like, oh, you can do that? We can do it. Oh, you can strike targets? We can too, okay? Now, make no mistake, we have kicked the crap. When I say we, the U.S. has kicked the crap out of Iran militarily. Kicked the crap out of them. There's no doubt about it. Blown them to hell. They have suffered. Lots of suffering. Lots of people killed. Lots of, official military killed. Lots of damage. Infrastructure destroyed. All this stuff like that. Economy damaged. They're probably set back at least 10 years in development for military, okay? But we have to understand that 20% of the world's oil passes through that strait. And Iran effectively closed it when the war began. And that single action gave Tehran an advantage, okay? They gave them leverage, a kind that no amount of bombing has eliminated, all right? So let's listen right now what's going on, what President Trump has to say, and what's actually the latest news, and we'll do an assessment, okay? Here we go.
To Operation Epic Fury, President Trump says he is looking for an everlasting deal with Iran, but he says it's tough because their leaders are fighting like cats and dogs.
Madeline Rivera joins us live from Washington with all of these details. Good morning, Maddie. Good morning, Ashley and Todd. President Trump indicates he is not rushing to make a deal with Iran because he says infighting within the regime's leadership has complicated negotiating efforts. He says Iran is the one under pressure, arguing their infrastructure could crumble if they don't get their oil moving soon.
They have all new leadership and they're fighting like cats and dogs for who's going to control. Because we've created a real mess for them. But I also took a little break. I gave them a break. And remember this.
I think, okay, you guys, give me a 1 in the chat if you think that we even know what the hell is going on inside their leadership. Give me a 0 in the chat if you think we have no clue what's going on with them in their leadership right now. I'm going to put my own vote in. Big fat goose egg. I vote goose egg. Okay? I vote big goose egg. Big old fat goose egg. I don't think we know what the hell's going on with their leadership. I'm just going to say that. I think we did a ceasefire because I think the Trump administration knows we're getting pulled into something that is bad. We're getting pulled into it with kooky ass people that want to have a war like this, that know if they don't win, the Iranian leaders know if they don't win, if they don't appear to fight and be strong and survive, their own people will lynch them in the streets. They will have the Nuremberg trials. They'll all be killed. Okay? This is already an existential threat, existential crisis for Iran. Okay? Israel poses an existential threat to Iran, and Iran poses an existential threat to Israel. Does Iran pose an existential threat to the U.S.? No, they don't. Do we pose one to them? Yes, we do. Now, make no mistake, I've said it a million times. The Iranian regime, bad people. Killing 30,000 of their own people. Truth, point, period, paragraph. Evil, bad, not good, horrible, right? But all of that is not the same as posing an existential threat to the United States, which I don't think they did. Do they now? I think they would like to. I think, make no mistake about it, if you don't get rid of that regime now, and they're going to try and get a nuke and come back, wouldn't you? I mean, you know, come on. I think right now, definitely, okay? I think definitely what's going to happen is if we leave this regime in place, that they're going to go ahead and get a nuke at some point, okay? Will they use it? I don't think so, but I think they'll get a nuke. I think for sure, okay? Cedric, Trump is so benevolent. LOL. That's very funny. I agree with you. All right. Brian Plummer, think about how Iran has severed out ties to allies in the Gulf. Yeah, it was crazy what they did. That was crazy. They escalated horizontally. If you guys were in my last live, I talked about the horizontal escalation they did and the vertical escalation. We talked about the escalation trap. We talked about the chicken game they played. Okay, if you guys haven't seen my last live from Monday, I talked about the chicken game, the escalation trap. I talked about the vertical escalation, the horizontal escalation, the screening game, right? It's a signaling game. Who's signaling? Who's tougher? If you signal any weakness, the other side escalates because they think you're weak. All these things matter, all right? Okay, let's keep listening.
I want to give them a break. And remember this, I want to make the best deal. I could make a deal right now. Do you know that if I left right now, we had a tremendous success. It would take them 20 years to rebuild, but I don't want to do that. I want to have it everlasting.
Iran's supreme leader now issuing a rare statement denying that Iran's regime has a rift. He says, due to the strange unity created among compatriots, a fracture has occurred in the enemy. Cohesion has become even greater and more steel-like, and the enemies will become more wretched and diminished. The enemy's media operations intend to undermine national unity and security. May our negligence not allow this sinister intent to come to fruition.
Okay, so a couple things back here. Let's rewind a little bit. All right. President Trump says something I think is important to note. Okay, right here.
20 years to rebuild, but I don't want to do that.
Here, listen.
Also took a little break. I gave them a break. And remember this, I want to make the best deal. I could make a deal right now. Do you know that if I left right now?
Okay, that's because he wants to leave right now. Make no mistake. He wants to leave right now. He knows this is getting bad, okay? I'm telling you, I told you guys on Monday, we're heading towards major war. We're heading towards ground war. We're heading towards World War III. Done this for most of my adult life. Okay. And I said to you guys, I studied it. I've made strategy. I've looked at these things. This is what I think. I think we have a fork in the road. Why does my thumbnail say hell is coming? 2 reasons. AI, from what Mo Gadot is saying, that things will get really bad for about 10 years between war and AI combination, because the most powerful people on earth and countries will be super empowered by AI, by super intelligence, but they're driving the intelligence is being wielded by people of dubious character and dubious intent, okay? That possibly can create massive wars, problems where the rich and powerful get more rich and powerful. This is what he's saying, okay? If you really watch the whole thing, we'd have to do another hour to really deep dive everything he's saying. But I'm telling you, hell's coming there, okay? The next hell, if we don't, or let's say double hell, if we don't take this off ramp, many people are saying, many experts, all right, myself included, I'll just say it. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I pray I'm wrong. I hope they're like, wow, you didn't know this. I didn't know that. I guess I'm not as cool as I thought. Oh, well, and I'll own it. Big deal. But I'm going to say, if we don't take this off ramp, where President Trump is signaling the off ramp, I could leave right now. We've already won. Why would we even be there? He's a savvy guy. He's a great politician. He knows his stuff. If he frames it this way, he can take the off ramp. But a scary thing that our president has demonstrated, with all due respect, okay, commander-in-chief, but I'm just saying it. I'm calling it like a coach, like I told you before. I'm a coach. I was a football coach. I'm a friggin' leadership coach. I'm an executive coach, business coach, right? There you go. I'm going to call it like a player, like one of my players. He has demonstrated a very thin skin. And he's demonstrated a very powerful ego. These things are very important for a world leader like him, right? And not the thin skin part, but the ego. I mean, he has to think he's strong and powerful. You're leading us into some tough waters and leading us through hard waters. Okay, no doubt about it. But what I'm saying is, though, there is a vulnerability there. If I were his coach, if I was in the shadows, no one knew about me, I'd be like, sir, you got to understand, they want you to mess up. They want you to get into the quagmire there. They want to prove us wrong and bloody our nose. So then Iran will become the 4th center of power in the world, controlling the Strait of Hormuz, beating the United States. Don't let them do it, sir. Don't let them do it. Okay? Yes, this won't look good. Yes, it might look in the near term like weak. But in fact, it's a very powerful move to say, you know what? Well, we're done. We're good. Okay? Get a favorable agreement and follow U.S. interests. Is it aligned to the U.S. interests? Now, if it is, and I don't know as much as I think I do, and they've got some secret plan that I don't know about, then they've got to do what we got to do, right? I mean, he's the elected leader of the United States, and if they have some rock-solid strategy, which I don't think they do, this is why I'm saying it, by the way, okay? And by the way, many other people say this too, okay? I listen to both sides. I listen to everybody, and I try to form my own opinion. But there's good evidence to say the goals have been strange, the strategy has been lurching, and it hasn't been a really solid strategy. So I would be like, sir, don't let them pull you in through the ego thing. Understand that right now, you have already smashed the hell out of them. What are you going to gain by going in there? You got to get the nuclear fissile material. You got to get the plutonium. You got to get the uranium that's been enriched past 60% or at 60%. We got to get this. We got to find a way to do that. But if we start escalating the military way, more bombing, more fighting, they're going to escalate too. This is the chicken game we talked about on Monday last stream. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and watch it. They are not swerving, and we're not afraid of them. It's almost being like an elephant to an ant. You are the superpower. If it doesn't serve your interests anymore, don't do it right now. What's going to stop you, again, with all due respect, from coming back next month or a year from now and saying, you know what? I told you guys. Or we have better intelligence. Okay? We maintain a presence there. Don't get into a quagmire and figure something out. Yes, it will not always look that good, okay? I know what the fear is, and I've said it before, the credibility, the fear of the credibility, that we create Iran as the 4th center of power in the world. I'm going to tell you what, if they bloody our nose in a ground war there, they will definitely be the fourth center of power in the world. And they'll say, look, we bloodied the U.S. Now, make no mistake, we've kicked the crap out of them. President Trump is right about that, okay? So listen, he is signaling right now that there's a possibility that we just off-ramp and leave, okay? I don't think we're going to do it. I don't think we can do it. I don't think we're going to do that. Unfortunately, I do think we are caught in an escalation trap, and I think it's going to escalate. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I'm giving you my gut instinct right now, but I hope I'm wrong, guys. I'm just saying that, okay? Giving the best I can. I have no agenda. I'm just calling it like I see it. All right, let's listen a little bit more. Here it is again.
I want to make the best deal. I could make a deal right now. Do you know that if I left right now, we had a tremendous success. It would take them 20 years to rebuild, but I don't want to do that. I want to have it everlasting.
And right now, when that statement was made, make no mistake, all his people are testing out the poll results. What did they think about that? What did they think? Do people actually believe we won? Do people actually, we look good, look bad? And he says he doesn't care about the midterms. I have no care. There's no rush. Of course, because there's no rush in war, right? Of course he cares about the midterms. Of course they do. Iran's goal, I'm shutting off this thing for this because I want to tell you guys this, okay? Super important. Super important. Iran's goal is to torpedo the presidency of Donald Trump. And I would say this again. If I were in the corner as his coach, okay, I'd very respectfully say, sir, they want to try to ruin it. Don't even let them take a shot at you, okay? The best boxers that have the longest careers don't get hit, okay? Tom Brady played football for so long because he didn't get hit that much, okay? If you start letting people take hits on you, they might torpedo your presidency. They are taking a page out of the North Korea book in Vietnam. They are losing every battle. They are losing materially. They are losing the fight in the war. But they are, right now, winning the strategic information operation war. Maybe not by much, but they are. I wouldn't say it's a landslide, but I'd say you can't argue with the math. They still hold the straight. Yes, we blockaded them. They blockaded. But if we're so big and bad, you can't open the strait. And they didn't quit yet. I don't know what to say to that, okay? I'm just saying, to me, in my Marine Corps math, in my mind, I'm like, well, okay, they kind of got you. If you're in an MMA fight, and you're like, I'm going to beat them, and I'm going to beat them in 3 rounds, or 1 round, first round knockout. You come back, you're on the camera. Yeah, second round for sure. And then you fight. Third round for sure. You, holy crap, we're at round 12. I don't think UFC fights even go that long. You're at round 12, they're still in it, and they're all mangled, like I said, like I did the Knights of Neep. I did the Monty Python Search for the Holy Grail where the guy's losing his arm. Just a flesh wound. His arm's flying off. This is them, but they're still there. They're still there. Okay? And so the questions start coming in, American credibility, American power, and it lands right on President Trump's lap. They're trying to torpedo his presidency. Okay? And make no mistake, the Iranians want the Republicans and Trump gone much more than the Democrats do. Much more. Okay? So they don't want to see another Republican come in office. You don't think they think about these things? Of course they do. And I know they're saying their leadership is fractured. Of course it is. They're on the run. You kidding me? People are hunting them. But it appears to be that they have enough of an apparatus to launch strikes, conduct a ship seizure, and to do all these things. Okay? So that's where I'm saying. That's where we're at right now. All right, let's get in some more. Let's listen some more to this because there's a lot of good stuff here. Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And it's great to have you here. The greatest chat on YouTube. I'm going to jump in the chat in a second. Let's see what we got going on inside our chat. Inside the chat, let me see here. Let me just get this keyed up for our next little segment. Ooh, look at this little circle, huh? Look at that thing. Never saw that before. Fancy. Okay, let me get in the chat. See how everybody's doing. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, Cedric, I bet them $10 on Trump third term. I don't know, Cedric. Band of Gold. The Ottomans made a big mistake in joining the losing side in World War One. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Brian Plummer, I think that if Iran pulls up into war, they'll be able to say they fractured the U.S. since we know how tribal the U.S. is right now. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a big thing that they'll say they stood up to a superpower, and so they have nothing to lose, all to gain. We've already done it to them, you know? And what happens is they've discovered something about the U.S. that they didn't know before. In fact, Russia didn't know it before. China didn't know it before, okay? No one knew it before. Riding on the heels of the Maduro raid, hubris was high. Energy was high. A little bit of megalomania going on. We're unstoppable, okay? And so what do? We're threatening NATO for Greenland. What the frick was this? I get it. Greenland's important. I did a show on it. I did a video on it. Watch the video. And then I talk about it is strategic. I get it, okay? But this is nutso land. This is nutso land. Not the way we've ever done things, not the way we do things, okay? And then we go into Iran. No real strategy, no real plan, okay? Not well led, really. I'm just going to say, militarily amazing. Militarily amazing. Greatest military in the history of the world. Of course it's amazing, okay? Of course it is. I'm talking about the broader political strategy. We were a little loosey-goosey, okay? We learned this in Vietnam. You need an end state and exit strategy before you even start. What is the plan? What are the objectives? The Powell Doctrine, right? We need an exit strategy. We learned this in Vietnam, but apparently Vietnam was too long ago, okay? So we missed that war, the lessons of it. Let me see. Yep, Brian Plummer. However, if we win the ground war, that message falls flat. Yep, that's very true. Cedric, yes, Ben, look at Trump. Ego. He going to pull out. Maybe. I don't know, Cedric. You might be right. I don't know. Installed a monarch, for God's sake. Yeah, we're going to see, guys. We're going to see. One thing for sure, I'm going to have a lot of material for my live stream, so don't miss a live stream. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We will have a lot of information to talk about no matter what happens, okay? That's the positive side of things. Remember, the one thing we can control is our attitude and the way we see the world. So right here, right now, a little bit of humor is always good, right? Yeah, we think short-term as a nation. Cedric, you're 100% right. Propaganda, we lost South America, Africa, Middle East, and East Asia. Propaganda, man. You're slamming everybody. AI, communists, everything. Propaganda's got the machine gun out tonight and just mowing everything down. Every idea is getting the shovel smack down, playing whack-a-mole. Whack, whack, whack. It's all going down. But I feel you, man. I understand. I hear you. All right, let's get it back in here. And let's listen a little bit more. Apparently, the supreme leader, I kind of like saying that, the supreme leader. I want to be the supreme leader on my YouTube. I am the YouTube supreme leader. YouTube channel supreme leader. I'm going to start calling myself that instead of the host now, the supreme leader.
Supreme leader now issuing a rare statement denying that Iran's regime has a rift.
By the way, this is like out of Star Wars, the supreme leader.
He says, due to the strange unity created among compatriots, a fracture has occurred in the enemy. Cohesion has become even greater and more steel-like, and the enemies will become more wretched and diminished. The negligence not allow this sinister intent to come to fruition. The president suggests the U.S. stands to benefit from the ceasefire, provided Iran does not lay mines on the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, but they already have. They've already laid tons of mines. They're still doing it. And we just decommissioned all our minesweepers. I'm not one of these guys play armchair quarterback. Well, you decommissioned all the minesweepers. This is a decision they made 5 years ago. Okay, something called the POM cycle in the Pentagon. Okay, program of memorandum. They didn't just decide this during the president's term. He probably didn't even know it was being decommissioned. Honestly, it was probably something made 4 or 5 years ago. The Navy's like, look, we've had these things there. Costs us so much money. We have other programs that are more important. The new programs can help out. Okay, or the minesweepers. It just turns out we actually could have used them now, okay? That stuff happens. I'm not, again, people can every decision you make is wrong, right? And, I've been a leader, led quite a few people, complex operations, things like that. Nothing like this. I'm not the freaking president or the CENTCOM commander. But I'm saying I can only imagine how complex, because my stuff was complex and it's hard and leadership is hard. It's not easy. You're the person in the hot seat making the calls. You're the man in charge and all the buck stops with you. It ain't easy. So I'm not playing the armchair quarterback. I am going to critique the strategy, though, as I've told you guys, and I'm going to call the balls and strikes, call it as I see it. Let's keep listening.
And today, the Pentagon will have a press briefing at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. It comes as the president says the U.S. military has hit 75% of its targets in Iran, but he acknowledges the regime may have loaded up a bit during the 2-week hiatus in the fighting. Todd and Ashley.
Okay, Maddie, thank you so much. And the ceasefire between Lebanon and Israel is now extended following a high-level meeting in the Oval Office. And President Trump is hopeful that the leaders of the two countries will soon meet face-to-face. Listen.
Okay, well, that's good to know. That's good to know there. And it's time. It's going to be time for our new poll in 1 second here. And we'll get into that in a second. But let me put a new poll up here if I didn't already. The new poll is this. Do you think the U.S. will take the off-ramp from the war? New poll. Guys, if you're new here, please vote in the poll. It helps us all to learn together and get a different perspective for what people are saying. Okay? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget that my free seminar is tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. Free Zoom. It's on a free private Zoom. I'm going to have a full presentation. It's going to be super cool, okay? Everybody loved it. I did it 2 weeks ago, and it was a great time. But it's also cool because we get to continue our if you're here with me in lives normally and you didn't make it last time, very cool. I'll do a live Q&A with you. I get to put a face to the name. We'll get to actually interact, hear each other, and talk. The Q&A alone will be worth it. And I think you'll also get you'll get quite a few amazing things out of the presentation itself, okay? And then I'll tell you about some of my programs with my Ferocious Optimist coaching membership and my community. And I'll also tell you about my new offering for my Ferocious Optimist and Inner Circle bundle, okay? Which is total fire and awesome. I'm really excited about. All right, let's see. What do we got? Cedric. Yeah, I agree. Propaganda, especially the following next elections. Politicians, yep. Okay, got it. Awesome. Hey, Zachary. Welcome, brother. Welcome aboard. Congratulations. Great to have you. Round of applause for Zachary getting into bronze. Right now, big round of applause. Here we go. And here we go. And one more time. Woo! All right. Congratulations. Great to have you. Absolutely fantastic. You made it. Proud to have you here. Big hearts. Everyone give him a round of applause. Best chat on YouTube. All right, guys. Welcome. Congratulations there, Zachary. Great to have you. Welcome aboard. Thank you. Let's do this. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. That's pretty cool. I stopped on this Israeli-Lebanon ceasefire little banner. That's nice. Makes us look really varsity in here. Because we are varsity, damn it. And I'm the supreme leader. Like I said, I'm taking that. I'm going to get a shirt. Supreme leader of the channel. All right. Let's go. Let's keep going. It is Friday, and I digress. Here we go. Let's see what they say here. Top Iran diplomat heads to Pakistan to resume talks. Now, guys, this is Fox News. I try to get as many different news sources as I can, but, you got to listen to many different sides, many different lenses. Everyone has a different viewpoint. Fox is more conservative. CNN's more liberal, right? Reuters is usually right down the middle. So, there's left of center, right of center, but let's hear what they have to say. Let's hear if they have some good, credible information here.
So for the first time in decades, we have 3 United States aircraft carrier strike groups operating in the Middle East. It's pretty crowded in there.
Now, let's be honest. Let's be honest. And give me one in the chat if you agree with this. Do you think President Trump was doing this whole ceasefire thing 2 weeks, and then he's like, let's just extend it. Let's extend it a little longer, indefinitely, until the 3rd carrier battle group gets there? Give me a one in the chat if you think he was just waiting for the 3rd carrier battle group to get there to refit, rearm, resupply, and resume the war. Give me a one in the chat if you think that's what we were doing. I say we, the U.S., okay? Give me a one in the chat if you think that. And that rhymes. Give me a one in the chat if you think that. I got to put some music on here. Let's see. I think I have music on this thing. Give me a one in the chat if you think that. Give me a 0 if you think, no, that's not what we were doing. And don't forget, I've got music up in here. I'm going to put some music on. Let's see. What do we got? At the car wash. All right, break it down real quick. So a little break. Break it down for a minute. And then we're going to get back to Carrier Battle Group. Get back to war. All right, answer my question. One in the chat. If you think he was just waiting for the Carrier Battle Group, and give me a 0 in the chat if you think, no way, Ben, we'd never do that. We'd never do something like that, ever. Damn, that was good, right? Lisa, I know you like that one right there. That one's for you. I got more where that comes from. I got lots of stuff, lots of tricks up my sleeve. I remember, I got to tell you guys, I had one person one time, oh my gosh, saying, you make the applause too much. You do too much things. I can't concentrate. I'm like, I'm sorry. I said, well, okay, thank you for your feedback. But I'm like, we're trying to have some fun too. And you can go turn on CNN and Fox News. And today, in the Iraq news, in the Iran news, we did this. And today, and the next thing going to happen. Okay, I'm trying to do strategic analysis, leadership, life, have some fun. These are serious topics, but it doesn't mean that we can't have a little bit of fun as well, all right? I'm telling you, laughter is the best medicine. It's a great it's a great way to relieve some stress too, okay? So, again, the purpose of my channel is to upgrade your life and to make life better by us understanding what's going on in the chaos and then having a plan, a tool, a strategy in order to deal with it, to get through it, get around it, go over it, learn what to pay attention to, what not to pay attention to, right? Look at the mega trends in the world, and then have the best damn life we can and develop ourselves into the best people we can, kick the most ass, all this stuff like that. And also to keep our head in a swivel, to know what's going on, all right? So all that stuff. Vibing on a Friday. You know it, man. You know it. All right. Let's go. Let's check this out now. A little bit more. Carrier Battle Group is there. Third one.
Check out the amazing array of U.S. firepower that is all
Honestly,
around the Middle East right now. More than 200 aircraft, plus 15,000 sailors and Marines. The Pentagon gave us a briefing earlier today reminding Iran, and it's pretty evident here, there's really no place to hide.
Wow.
We're closely tracking vessels of interest headed towards Iran and those moving away from Iran that were outside the blockade area when this blockade was ordered.
Wow.
And as everyone saw this past weekend, we're prepared and postured to intercept them.
Iran knows that they still have an open window to choose wisely. The choice is theirs, but with this blockade, the clock is not on their side.
And Mark.
So let's examine that thing he just said there. Okay. And if you missed that, I'm going to rewind. I got something to say about this. As a strategist, I have something to say. Bear with me.
Iran knows that they still have an open window to choose wisely. The choice is theirs, but with this blockade, the clock is not on their side.
Okay. The clock is not on their side. This is up for debate, and here's why. As a strategist, when we create strategy, okay, military strategy, national strategy, corporate strategy, business strategy, life strategy, we want to create a strategy where time is on your side. For example, in finance, personal investment, personal finance. We talk about this stuff in my coaching membership. We had a big session on it last Saturday. And also, yes, last Saturday, we had a big session for my Ferocious Optimist community. We deep dive into Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett's concepts on investing for the long term, compounding interest, all these things. When you invest in index funds, for example, one simple investment, one I know is very powerful and actually works, historically proven, you are letting time be on your side. Time is on your side through the power of compounding interest, okay? Give me a 1 in the chat if you know what I'm talking about, if you understand. And I know you'll understand this. But if you're tracking, let's just say you're tracking, you're with me, Ben, I'm with you, I'm good, okay? That's a true strategy of time being on your side. Another strategy of time being on your side is a war of attrition for a more powerful country. You get them into the vice grip, you get them in the boa constrictor, time is on your side, okay? You know what else time is on your side? If you're a Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter, you get someone in the guard, you have them wrapped up, time is on your side. You're resting. The longer they stay in your guard, working their arms, trying to do things, they get exhausted. Time is on your side. You know when time is not on your side? When the Strait of Hormuz, controlling so much of the world's global oil flow, is blockaded and stopped. Why? It creates an oil shock, okay? We haven't even seen the greatest amount of damage that this will cause. For him to say that, again, with all due respect, okay? Again, Marine officer here, right? I can't help who I am. With all due respect, for him to say that, Pete Hegseth to say that, shows he fundamentally does not understand strategy. Because there's a huge thing the Iranians understand. The longer the straits are closed, they say, yeah, we can keep them closed till November. Okay. You do that, the global economy is going to go into hell. And remember I asked you guys on Monday, I said, who remembers the last time we choked off Japanese oil? What happened? Right? Now, it was a very different Japan. But you don't think they could dig up the old samurai swords at Mount Fuji? I've been to Mount Fuji. They still talk about it there. They have a cadre ready that remembers what their martial culture is. They are proud of it. Their ancestors. They still go to the Shinto shrine of the war dead. The prime minister still does. Okay? I'm just saying to you, Germany just announced they will be ready. The Bundeswehr will be ready for war. What are we doing? Okay? The rise of Hitler came from the devastation of World War I. So what I'm saying to you is we don't yet know the second and third order effects of everything we're doing. Okay? And for him to say that, time is ticking. You're damn right it's ticking. And guess what? And they know. They're like, oh, that's cool. It's closed. We laid mines. Nothing you can do about the mines. You don't have any minesweepers. NATO's not coming to help you. So what? What are you going to do? Unless we have some technology, which I think we do. I think we have some undersea technology to that can deal with these things. Or we don't start dropping like mega depth charges and detonating them, blowing them up, okay, which is probably what we're going to have to do, all right? Yeah, man, they did. Look it up, Cedric, in The Economist magazine. They said it, okay? Yes, I'm a freak. I'm always reading, listening, watching, but this has been my job for so long, it's natural for me, right? So this is what I want you guys to think about. I want you to think about time is not on our side. The midterm elections are coming. They're laughing at him right now. He's not even giving the counter argument. At least Trump had the right mindset to say, I think Hegseth's going to get fired. I'm just going to tell you guys that right now. He's on his way out within the next 2 months. He's gone. Okay, that's my prediction. 3 months. I'll say 3 months for sure. 3 months, he's gone. Because he's showing he doesn't he's saying the same things over and over again when the situation has shifted, the context has shifted, and leaving him behind. That sounded good in February. Not now, it doesn't. Trump knows it. Midterm elections are coming, okay? Midterm elections are coming. They're also already big shocks from the oil, okay? And the global oil shocks have not even happened yet. The price of everything is going to go up. Massive shortages. You have the leading airlines are canceling flights. Guys, give me a 1 in the chat if you know this. Tell me I'm wrong. Someone tell me I'm wrong. And I'll believe you. I mean, I'll believe you if you give me some evidence. But from my research, 20,000 flights were canceled because oil prices are too high. Jet fuel's too high. And they can't get jet fuel. In Europe, tons of flights canceled. And we're saying it's only a matter of time. Yeah, they're like, you already did the worst you could. Yes, we're not powerful anymore. Yes, we can't project power. All we can do is mine the strait and sit here. But turns out that's enough. Turns out that's a frickin' enough. And they knew it. They knew the ace they were holding on. And it's been said for many years that the nuclear bomb Iran possesses is not a nuclear bomb. It is the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Now they've done it, okay? So give me a 1 in the chat, guys. I want to see if you're tracking what I'm saying, okay? What conflict will Germany fight? Well, not with Japan, no, but Cedric, remember on Monday I told you guys about Putin just moved massive forces to the border of Estonia and Finland. And guess what else, guys? Guess what else? Because the U.S. is not helping NATO, Poland and France are doing a nuclear drill for targeting freaking Russia. Tell me I'm wrong. Look it up. This is 100% true. Putin is flipping out. We are this close, and I've said it before, to a World War III scenario. Okay? And guys, I'm not a sensationalist. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I read it. I see the evidence. I tell you guys what I think. I synthesize it, give it to you. Can I be wrong? Sure. Can I be saying this in an excited way? Sure. Do I think it's too much? No. No, I don't. No, I don't. World War I started because the Archduke Ferdinand was assassinated by an assassin at a parade. Okay? World War I went off like that from an assassination. Think about that. That wasn't an invasion. It was that. Blood boils, egos go up. Just as Mo Gadot said, when when stupid people, he called him stupid. I won't call him stupid, but I will say when big egos, and I will say miscalculations. I want to say that, okay? Again, because I've been a big leader and I understand what it's like to lead. It's hard. But when people make miscalculations, their emotions get whacked out, they have faulty assumptions. This whole war was predicated on the assumption that the regime would fall right away. They thought within the first week for sure. 3 weeks, no doubt. 6 weeks. They've been saying it. Who could predict it's going to be over in 6 weeks unless you thought the regime would topple and fall? I'm telling you that's what happened. This is where we are right now. Okay? So let's keep listening. But make no mistake, time is not on our side. It is not on our side. Now, Israel is going to be really upset about that, but who cares? You know what I mean? Like, too bad. This is nuts. Israel wants us to keep going, keep going, keep going. The Gulf states, keep going, keep going. They've got all the oil. Prices will go up. They'll be richer. You don't think they talk about this stuff? Of course they do. Let's listen some more. But everyone's tracking that, right? Time is not on our side, okay? Disagree with me, tell me, and we can discuss it. And I have no problem, no ego. Let's have a real discussion, okay? Let me see. Any discussion points? What's funny is that, Brian Palmer, what's funny is that suit, and he projects as soft. His handlers can't even get that right. I know. DeGriff, man, my flight got canceled because of Iran attacked Qatar. Wow, no kidding. Brian, Australia, one of our best allies, is really struggling. Yep, see? Propaganda. China is the sworn enemy of Japan. And Russia. There it is. Propaganda. Need we say more? Need we say more? I'm telling you, propaganda hit it right there very well. There are old feuds and grievances that will be lit on fire because of this. China hates Japan. Make no mistake. Okay? That is like their arch enemy, mortal enemy. Germany, for lots of deep reasons that old Adolf had talked about, the world's worst dictator in history with a little mustache, and he wrote in a book about, okay, for all these crazy reasons, his ideology, hates Russia, okay, hates a lot of people. So absolutely nuts. All right, let's go. We got a little bit more, some more to watch here. Very important. So time is not on our side. Pete, I'm sorry.
But with this blockade, the clock is not on their side.
Yeah, it's not, right? Sure, their economy's getting damaged. It's not. But it ain't on our side either. It's hurting everybody. And I got news for you. The people with the guns in Iran, the ones in the regime have probably stockpiled for this moment. Now, all the people might die. You might kill a lot of people who get starved out and have no electricity, no food, no water. I'm guaranteeing you the IRGC won't care. They're going to have a little bit of food, a little bit of water. They have their guns. They'll keep power. They'll keep mining the strait. And you'll keep the straits closed for 6 freaking months, which will tank the global economy. Mark my words, guys. Remember, you heard me say it here on this day, April 24th, when we're in November and things are in hell, okay? I hope it's not. I hope I'm wrong. I know I'm being a bit dramatic. It's okay. It's more fun that way. But I'm speaking truth, honest. I'm not making shit up, okay? Let's go.
And Mark Meredith is joining us live at the White House this morning with more on this. Hi, Mark.
Bill, good morning to you. Happy Friday. The White House says it has both the time and resources to keep the U.S. blockade of both Iranian ports and ships in place. But when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz, the administration also very eager to see cargo traffic move through at a more normal pace, while at the same time, the president is threatening Iran and its proxies not to interfere.
Iran has an important choice, a chance to make a deal, a good deal, a wise deal. As part of that effort, the United States has imposed an ironclad blockade that grows more powerful by the day. From the Gulf of Oman to the open oceans, our Navy is enforcing this blockade without hesitation or apology.
All right, we heard enough of that. We know what's going on there. Let's see where we're at with our poll. Did I put a new poll up? I thought I did. Yes, there it is. Okay. Do you think the U.S. will take this off-ramp from the war? We got about 50-50, guys. 18 minutes ago, 18 votes. Guys, if you're new here and you haven't voted in the poll yet, please vote in the poll. We are actually exactly tied, 50-50. Do you think the U.S. will take the off-ramp from the war? Yes is 53%. No is 47% now. 19 votes. Appreciate that vote, my friend. Thank you. Now we're tied, 20 votes, 50-50. Wild. This is the thing, guys. In leadership, you have to communicate the plan. We should have an idea of what's going on. I'm going to tell you, okay? Even in World War II, we had an idea what was going on. It's going to be hard. We're going to fight. Okay, Churchill said the British, we're going to fight them in the mountains. We're going to fight them in the beaches. We're going to fight them on the air. We're going to fight them on the sea. We're going to fight them everywhere until we can't fight anymore. Even Mussolini said, to the last bullet, to the last Italian, we will keep fighting. So right now, we don't know. We could take an excursion. We could stay. We could go. We don't know. We're going to get a deal. It's going to be 6 weeks. It's going to be another 3 weeks. That's going to be over soon. I don't know how long. I could leave now. We don't know what's going on. Now, some of this is market manipulation, okay? No doubt about it. It's market manipulation, okay? But in the meantime, none of us know what's going on. Just like the poll, 50-50, okay? You guys, you're all right. We don't know, 50-50. Okay, great. Let's keep rolling. That's amazing how the poll actually matches what's going on. We don't know.
The Secretary's comments coming one day after the president posted on.
I love this. Listen.
Online that he had ordered the Navy to shoot and kill any of the boats that are putting mines in the waters of the Strait of Hormuz, that there would be no hesitation. That's the military front.
Okay, I love this. I have ordered the United States Navy to shoot and kill any boat. Small boats, though they may be, their naval ships are all, 159 of them, at the bottom of the sea. He's not wrong. He's right. All the small boats that are putting... Small boats, though they may be, that is putting mines in the water. Not proper English. That's okay. Someone was tweeting this in the middle of the night. That is putting mines in the water of the Straits of Hormuz, in the Strait of Hormuz. There is to be no hesitation. Okay? Shoot and kill. Well, we shot and killed quite a few boats in Venezuela and sunk a lot of them. But, yeah. So then there's this, right? As he should, because putting mines in the Strait of Hormuz, first of all, is a violation of the ceasefire, in my opinion. I think probably illegally. Also, it's a violation of international law. Did you know that? You cannot mine in international water. Straits are international waters. They are not owned by Iran. The violation of international law, right? Interesting stuff.
Mines in the waters of the Strait of Hormuz, that there would be no hesitation. That's the military front. When it comes to peace talks, some new developments today as the Pakistanis first announced that Iranian officials, including Iran's top diplomat, will be heading to Islamabad this weekend for additional talks. We're looking to see what the U.S. reaction may be to that. It's unclear if this is going to be the pivotal change in negotiations, but it all comes as new polling from Fox shows where Americans are focused on. And believe it or not, it's not Iran. Instead, it's about inflation and prices. Democrats this week say they plan to hammer that message home.
As I was saying, guys, let's look at this. As I was saying, the most important issues facing the country: inflation, prices, 26%, economy, jobs, 17%, political leaders, corruption, 13%. Has anybody forgotten about the Epstein files in here? Has anybody forgotten? Iran war, 11%. People are like, what are we doing, a war? What the heck? We're going to fix our own country. We have this mega war going on? Okay. Political divisions, immigration, border security, lots of stuff. Iran war, people do not think is the most important thing going on. Okay. It might become the most important thing when World War III starts. Make no mistake. And let me ask this. I'm going to put another poll up here right now, or maybe this will be a number one poll, a little one poll. 22 minutes. We'll let this one ride out a little more. Do you think the U.S. will take the off ramp from the war? 52% say no now. It's looking grim, guys. Looking grim. Okay. Put a 1 in the chat if you think anyone, any American. Let me ask. No. Would you care if we took the off ramp and just left? Or would you if you think it's a better option? Would you be fine if the U.S. took the off ramp and just left in the next month and had no more fighting and we just went home? Give me a 1 in the chat if you think that would be fine. Give me a 0 in the chat if you think it would not be okay for us just to leave right now. And let me just say this. Anybody who puts a 0 in the chat, no one talking any trash, or no one talking trash, someone putting the 1 either. You have probably a very good reason you think that. And I've given a lot of good reasons why we can't just leave. Credibility, international credibility, chicken game, all the stuff I talked about before. We're in this tough place, guys. We're trapped where we're going to lose. We're going to lose either way. Right now, we're going to lose either way. If we go all in, we're going to lose something. We might win in the end, but we're going to lose a lot of blood and treasure. If we leave right now, we're going to lose a lot of credibility, okay? Unless we do a massive propaganda, we make a new story about it, all this stuff like that. Okay, let me see what you guys say. All right. Operation Epstein Forget was successful. Yep, 100%. Just posted about it today, actually. Nice, Mech. We can think web for this shit. Yes, it'll be messed up either way. Cedric, no. 0. Okay, got you, man. No off-ramp. That is short-term. Win only. 0. Okay, 0 straight. Weak move. Yep, okay. 1, Mech. Zach, 1. Cut the losses and come home. Okay. Propaganda, 0. Can't leave now. Mark, can't leave now. Okay. Everybody has some great points. Got some great points. And I appreciate you guys. And guys, you don't even have to really debate it. It's just for your own perspective. It's good to hear other perspectives. It sharpens the way you think. You become a critical thinker. When you only hear your own voice and people like you, I hate to say it, but you're going to be ignorant. But when you hear other opinions and ideas and you can see their argument, you need to be able to see what their argument is and why and understand it. Okay? And that'll help you actually with your own argument. And it may change you a little bit too. But either way, only a fool thinks only his own thoughts and doesn't see what's around him. Okay? You also leave yourself very vulnerable to being manipulated. So I appreciate you guys very much. Leave immediately. Okay, got it. Got it, Cody. Okay? We'll just end up with Gavin as president. I don't know. Stand and fight till the end. Okay, Fritter. Time lives, man, again. We're not even prepared to get... Yep. Okay, got you, Mech. Got you, Lisa. Mark went in guns blazing to leave now. Yeah, Mark, I mean, I hear you. Couple options. You guys know I put videos out about it, how we could seize the strait, what it would take. Doing that, leaving now would be, we would lose. Either way, we're going to have to pay a price. Okay? So we're going to see. I personally, as I've said before, guys, you know what I think? I don't think we're going anywhere. I just don't think this is the guy for that. I don't think President Trump's going to do that. I think he's going to hang in to the end, as you guys are saying, unfortunately. But at this point, he chose a course of action. But we do have massive technological superiority. It doesn't have to be like an Iwo Jima, okay? And you don't have to do it fast. So if you're in it, like you guys are saying, you got to try to do it as smart as possible and still negotiate all those things like that. Okay, we'll keep moving. A lot to consider here, and we're not going to be able to debate it the entire night tonight. But I will revisit it again, as you know. But I appreciate everyone's opinion here. Best chat on YouTube. Round of applause for the best chat in YouTube. Everyone watching at home who is not in the chat. Get in the chat. Get in the game. Best chat on YouTube. Did you guys see the diverse opinions, the level of contribution? This is like a graduate level seminar we're in. Great ideas flowing around. I appreciate you guys. I get smarter being in here. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. And that's why you guys are the best chat in YouTube. And that's exactly why. Did you see diverse opinions? No one's afraid to speak their mind. It's awesome. You got a great environment. And anybody's a kook out there trying to sabotage it, I'm going to give you the old zap. I'm going to disintegrate you. You'll be gone. All right? That's how it's going to go. All right, let's listen a little bit more.
Iran's in a stronger position now than it was before Donald Trump started his reckless war of choice.
Yeah, this isn't really true. Okay, this isn't really true. I wouldn't call it a stronger position. They definitely learned some things about us. They learned some things about themselves. I wouldn't call it stronger. Now, if they were 100% full capacity, yes, I'd say that. But they have a strategic victory. If we stopped right now, they would have a strategic victory. But they are crushed. And who's to say that another country doesn't come in there and just wipe them out right now? Who's to say that? I don't know. Or their own people don't uprise. So I don't fully agree with that. That's just a political statement. Hakeem Jeffries, we're moving on from you, my friend. No hatred, but I just don't agree fully with what you're saying. Okay, Bill O'Reilly. Love him or hate him or indifferent, let's listen to him. Here it is. Hey guys, everyone, give me a little fire symbol for the technology tonight. The tech is flowing tonight, is it not? No tech issues, no restarts. I think I had 3 in a row with restarts and issues and problems and all this crap. No tech issues. I haven't missed a video. I feel like I'm on fire tonight, man. Absolutely. Let's go.
You said back then the tariffs were enormous risks. Now you've also said the war in Iran is an enormous risk. We are now past the April 1st, 2026 deadline. Is Trump in big trouble?
I don't know if I'd say he's in big trouble. He's got to win in Iran. So if he wins in Iran, the equation changes because he becomes a victor. And to the victor go the spoils, as the cliche goes. So the scenario the White House wants to impose is that finally Iran agrees to have the weapons inspectors go in, look at the uranium, look at the missiles, and they stop terrorizing their own people, and the Strait of Hormuz opens. If that happens, then Trump gains a lot of currency, and I expect oil prices would then come down very quickly. So it's not big trouble. It's not can't get out of it. It's still a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I would agree with that. A cliffhanger for sure. So you heard from Bill O'Reilly. Again, I think, I play these things, guys, because, again, we can sit here, we can conspiracy theory, we can trash the president, we can trash everyone. It's easy to be an armchair quarterback and just trashing people, right? But someone's got to do the job. He's the elected leader. I don't want to do that job. I don't know about you guys, but that's a tough-ass job right there. And so Bill O'Reilly is saying it like it is that, for better or for worse, this is what has to happen. And I think he has to produce something that appears to be a victory. As you guys have noted, you can't just pull out right now with nothing. We have to have something. And here's the fear. The fear is this, guys, that if it gets revealed that we cut a deal that matches very similarly the Obama deal, everyone is going to just go bananas. They're going to say, well, what happened? What was the purpose of this? So what I would fall back on personally, again, if I become his coach, if they put me in the White House and I coach him for a very large sum of money, make no doubt. Okay. And like you guys said, I won't last and they'll kick me out for sure. And then I'll probably be indicted. I'll probably be in jail. You guys come rescue me. Anyway, so if they do, and if I go in there and I coach him for a sum of lots of money, like I said before, just so anyone in the administration is listening, it's going to cost you. But what I would say is this. I would say, as he said, well, the victory is this. The thing you took away was you smashed the hell out of this regime. It was punitive. You destroyed the ballistic missiles. You destroyed the Navy. You destroyed the Air Force. You got rid of their entire first and second string of leadership. Okay? So they need to keep, and I know they're doing that a lot. They're doing it a lot, but you can't leave the Strait of Hormuz closed. You can't do it and say that. It has to be, that is true, but you can't have the Strait of Hormuz closed because the rest of the world is suffering with economic shocks now. And also Iran is able to impose tariffs now and a toll they couldn't do before. That's what Hakeem Jeffries was talking about. He was saying they're in a stronger position now than they were then. That's not really true. If we were gonna put a value of that versus not being bombed and destroyed and crushed and everyone killed, I would say they were stronger before, right? So I mean, this is like this is stupid talk. But I would definitely say that we need to deal with the Strait of Hormuz. And once we get that back open, whether that's a deal or something or whatever they come up with, if we can walk away, the strait is open, and we have done what we did militarily, then I would say that would be something acceptable. But we can't walk away while the strait is closed and them calling us vile dogs and all these things like that. So anyway, like I said, we are in that trap, guys. We're in that trap, okay? And that's just off the top of my head. And I've seen all of what you guys think too. So let me see here. Brian, the victor go the spoils. Rebuild Bill, yeah. Bill's on the moon right now. I agree, man. I agree. Yep. Yep. Okay. Let's listen a little bit more. Yeah, Bill is on the moon right now. You're right.
Okay. You are laying out
Do you
this
hear this
scenario.
guy? Hold on. I've talked about it before. Listen how he goes, okay.
Okay. You are laying out this scenario where Trump would be able to get all of this out of the Iranians. He said that he had all that effectively on Friday, and then it fell apart. How long does Trump have to allow the Iranians to continue their bad acts while waiting for their good words?
I don't know. I can't put a number on it. There was a good development today for the president. He got 8 women off the gallows.
How do we know that's true?
Well, that's a good question. I'm taking it from the best wire services over there.
Okay, so there's a lot of questionable stuff going on as far as are things happening or not. Again, guys, what I say is the most important factor right now is the closing of the strait and the timeline, like I talked about, the economic timeline, the economic global shocks that are going to occur because the strait is closed. Okay, so we need to watch that. So as he's saying time-wise, right? This announcer, he just said, how much time does he have? As I've said before, he doesn't have much time because we haven't fully felt the global shocks yet of having the strait closed now for 6 weeks. And in fact, let's go to our strait tracker real quick because you guys love it and I love it. So since the ceasefire, it's been restricted movement for 7 days, but really this has been closed since February 28th. Okay, they reset the clock a little bit here. The strait's here. They had 5 ships transit today. There are 200 vessels waiting, 280 vessels waiting. Okay. 3 ships are transiting now. 280 waiting. Let's see what the price of oil is. Oh, $100 a barrel. So it's up from our Monday transmission. Okay. And 100. But remember, there's a gap between how much this costs here and how much you can actually get it for. A country can actually get a ready-made real barrel of oil at about $30 to this. Okay. So we're talking 132 dollars per barrel of oil. So prices at the pump are still high, but here's even more so, things are not flowing. They're not flowing, okay? And I talked about this before that the U.S. is actually a net importer of oil. We say we're an exporter, but we're an exporter of oil for oil petroleum products overall. We actually import 2 million barrels of oil a day. Look it up. Tell me I'm wrong, okay? You can ChatGPT, fact check me, but I believe 99.99% that I am right. So... but tell me I'm wrong. You can find out. Let me know. That's what I think, and that's from the research I've done. Okay, so that's what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz. There. Let's get back into this, and then we're going to get moving.
I don't think
we're
that
taking the Iranians'
would...
word for it, right?
Yeah, they say they're not going to kill him now.
We don't think the Iranians would lie about it. They lied about reopening the Strait of Hormuz.
Leland, I can't analyze the news.
That's a great point. That's a great point. All right, let's move on from this one. Let's check this one out. Okay, have we ever seen this? We saw Pete Hegseth. And then I don't know what this one is. This is a nothing one. Okay. Maritime tracker. Let's get in here. Let's get a real-time update. Take a look. Look at, if you guys can look at how many ships are crowded around here. Look at the freaking amount of ships in the Gulf of Oman. Guys, looking everywhere else, you see how many oil tankers. Oil tankers are in red triangles. Cargo tankers are in green. Look at how many oil tankers are stacked up here. There's so many stacked up. It's nuts. Look at the new route through the Red Sea. And look what is the next strait that could be closed right here, okay? Yemen, the Houthis could close this off in a heartbeat and no one could get through. That means the oil from Saudi Arabia would have to take a different route and take even longer. Price of Brent crude oil goes up even more, okay? And so I'm going to zoom in here in the Strait of Hormuz. And let's see. 280 ships waiting. Look at all these ships right here. Everyone paying the toll or else getting attacked. Let's see who we got. We got this one for order flagged. Looks Chinese to me, or I don't know. Young Thai. Nationality. Let's see. What is it? Vessel details. Hold on. Let's get in the vessel details. We'll see what we got here. Very important. Very important to know. Young Thai. If you guys see it, put it in the chat. You see it before I do while we're looking at this thing. In the Oman Gulf, it is an oil product of Panama. Okay, Panama. Let's see. Let's see what else we got there. What else is waiting? The New Fusion oil tanker. Where is this one from? Let's check this one out right here. Panama. A lot of Panamanian ships sitting around. What are the Panamanians up to? Very interesting. Very interesting. Who's here? I bet this is Chinese. Of course it is. Did I nail that, guys, or what? Chinese. There it is right there. The Aquamarine. Chinese. Let's see this one. Austria. What is it? I don't know. I don't see it. Let's see the vessel details here. Okay. Let's check it out. Vessel details. Botswana. Man. Botswana. Who would think that we're going to be looking at a Botswanan ship? I don't even know where I am on this map right now. I'm zoomed in so far. Okay. We'll look at one more. Just to get an idea of where these ships are from. Let's see what this one is. All the way in here paying the toll. Bandar Abbas. The Bandar Abbas. What kind of, it's got to be Iranian. Flag of Comoros. This is Iranian. It's called the Bandar Abbas. Come on. The Breeze oil tanker. Crude oil tanker. Okay. You guys have seen a lot of stuff happening there, right? Ships are still held up. So just of note, while we're on this, while we're looking at this, take a look here, okay? This is, in case you forgot, this is Ketchum Island. This is what I call the leaf blower. Some people call it a dagger. I call it the leaf blower. It looks just like a leaf blower to me. There's the nozzle. There's the handle. There's the gun, the trigger. The big leaf blower island. In this area of these islands back here, they call this radar scatter. The fast attack boats and drones, undersea drones, on the surface drones of Iran hide in this radar scatter right here, okay? This is very hard to find out where these boats are. They hide in here. They have little sea caves. They have caves all along the coast here of Ketchum Island. They hide in the little sea caves. They hide in the radar scatter of the little islands, okay? And then over here, Larak Island, they also hide there. Hormuz Island, these have targeting systems, missile systems, drones. Bandar Abbas was a former big naval base. But along this whole area, they have missile systems. They have, fire control. They have firing systems, all these different things, right? I'm not making the enemy 10 feet tall. I'm just saying this is what they have. How much is left? Apparently enough to cause a problem. That's what I'll say. Apparently enough to cause a problem is still left, okay? So that's what I'll say. All right, let's go into our next one here. And this is very important, okay? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because this next one I'm going to give to you I think is pretty important to talk about, okay? And we're getting very close to our Leadership Lessons of South Park, our comedy segment. If you're new here, you're going to like that a lot. We got a good one for you tonight. But I want you to consider that, there's economic devastation being caused right now by the Strait of Hormuz being closed, okay? This is very important to realize and to note that right now, I lost this picture here. I'll put it back up. I was in my little puppet show ghost mode there. But right now, there is real economic damage being done, okay, because of the Strait of Hormuz being closed. We haven't fully experienced these shocks yet, what the full shocks are. And we won't for another 2 months, month. These have downstream effects, second and third order effects that we don't feel immediately, okay, because all the propping up we're doing, all the changes we're trying to make, manipulating of stock prices, oil prices, market sentiments, all these things like that. But eventually, supply and demand gets you. Eventually, the global supply chain gets you. Eventually, affordability gets you. Eventually, the price of food, the price of transport, the price of manufacturing, the price of flights. 20,000 flights have been canceled, allegedly due to a lack of jet fuel. Okay? Guys, look it up. Fact check me. Put it in ChatGPT. Take a look. All right? And if you have a new bit of information, put it in the chat so we can all learn together. Like I said, I don't know everything. I know some things. I share them with you guys. And we learn together. It's awesome. Self-licking ice cream cone. All right, let's listen to Jeffrey Sachs. He's with Tucker Carlson. Let's hear what he has to say here.
Military action of covert operations. Donald Trump confirmed that in the protests last year, the U.S. sent weapons to the protesters. That's not a protest. That's an insurrection we were creating that did not work. But the point I'm making is that we portray Iran as evil because it did something unacceptable to the United States that doesn't involve nuclear weapons or any of the specific issues or Hezbollah or Hamas. It goes back to 1979. They escaped from the American empire. They escaped from CIA control. That's not allowed. That's simply what you're not supposed to do. And
just a disclaimer, you guys know what I think. I'm playing what he's saying, but I think he's missing a lot of stuff that the Iranian regime has done since 1979. There is a lot of bad stuff. The Marine barracks were bombed in Beirut, okay? And then the Quds Force was behind that, okay? And I mean, as far as supporting, there were supporters for that, okay? And so I'm saying how many times the advanced IEDs were in Iraq, and they're the biggest terrorist supporter in the world, okay? And so some of these things you can't ignore. So while he's saying, I understand that 50 years ago what happened, I know what you're saying. Yeah, but okay, then 80 years ago, if I have my numbers right, 80 years ago, Japan was so evil and horrible, and so was Germany, and we bombed them into oblivion. But it's like saying that, times can't change, things can't change, right? So anyway, just remember both sides of the story here as he's saying this, because he's not wrong. He's saying some important things to understand historically. But I just want to add that qualifier. Okay, you've heard enough from me. Let's listen to him.
And this war has been going on with various pretexts, various explanations since then.
Let me ask you.
If I could just say one more thing, Tucker. Trump's main argument has been in the last months, I will stop them from having a nuclear weapon. Of course, anyone that knows the history of this knows that this is Orwell to the nth power. By that, I mean such bizarre propaganda.
Yeah, and when he's saying Orwell, I'm sure many of you read the book 1984, or they'll say like an Orwellian state, means a totalitarian state, referring to the book 1984, where the totalitarian state, massive propaganda, they lied to you all the time. Okay, I think there were a few other, like Animal Farm by George Orwell too. Okay, another one. But these are the big Orwellian dystopias that they talk about, okay, in totalitarian states.
You don't quite even know where to start. The reason is that the Iranians have not pursued a nuclear weapon. Our own intelligence agencies have said that repeatedly. What they have
again, I'll just say, I don't think he's correct here. I don't. I mean, I'd be really, frankly, as a state, I'd be like, why aren't you pursuing nuclear weapons? It's in your best interest. How stupid of you not to. You should have a secret nuclear weapons program. And if you get caught, fine. But I think I'll just say it. All due respect also to Mr. Sachs here. I don't know who he is, but I don't really know him, but he's an economist and a professor. But I think it's a little naive to think that they're not. So I'm just saying that.
Pursued, though, is a treaty with the UN Security Council to confirm that, to put them under strict monitoring under the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty.
And by the way, I want to say this. By the way, Iran closed many doors that IAEA officials, the International Atomic Energy Agency officials, have said they were not completely compliant. They didn't open all the doors. They didn't honor a lot of the meetings. Okay, this is another research I've done. Again, prove me wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Look it up. Tell me if I'm wrong about that, and that's fine. But I try to go from fact and research and not just emotions. And I watch some YouTuber in a hoodie and say, well, this is what he says because he's the genius. He can be entertaining and he can be wrong and he can be full of shit. Okay. So, we got to have critical thinking here. I think it's in Iran's best interest to have a nuclear weapon, 100%. I don't want them to. I believe they would be a serious threat to the United States, to the world. But I'm saying how stupid. Of course they should pursue one. Yeah, I mean, it's going to help you survive, state survival. Okay. Especially when your rivals and your enemies have them. And you get caught, you get caught. So let's look at, and that's important to hear, but let's listen to Ambassador Bolton definitely a war hawk if you don't know him, was the one in the first Trump administration calling for war, saying we need to do regime change in Iran. He's unapologetic, doesn't care, thinks we need to go all the way, okay? But there's real honesty in him. He's very open, unapologetic about it. Let's listen to what he has to say here, okay? So you're at one side, they don't have anything, they're just nice people, they never wanted one. I mean, come on, you know, I mean, it's just like, this isn't true, right? You know, okay? And they've done so much damage. The Quds Force, not good guys. Anyone who served in Iraq knows this, okay? You know, it's the thing we don't talk about that much. There were a lot of Marines, soldiers, and Iraqis killed by these I believe they're FPVs. What are they called? The advanced projectile IEDs. Just, you know, terrible. These are the things that blew up our M1A1 Abrams tanks that we thought were invincible, okay? All right, so let's listen to John Bolton here. And now we get to the secret. I told you about this in the thumbnail and the title. We're getting to it now. This is the possible potential nuclear material Iran has. That they have more 60% enriched uranium, just below that or right at it. But more than that, there's another substance they have that they haven't exploited that they possibly could to make nuclear weapons. Let's listen, okay?
I think because Trump is desperate to get out of this, that's a real possibility. He's caught between a rock and a hard place. He wants to get out, but he also knows if he makes a bad deal that can be analogized or compared to Obama's 2015 nuclear deal, then he'll look foolish. And it will be dangerous and embarrassing to him, which, of course, for him is the most important thing. But I think, again, this should show to Europe why the nuclear issue with Iran is not a matter of can you get a deal. It's a matter of the strategic decision by the government of Iran to pursue nuclear weapons. And by the way, people need to think about the plutonium route to nuclear weapons as well as uranium. We all talk about Iran's uranium.
This is crucial, guys. The plutonium route to nuclear weapons. I mean, frankly, honestly, I've heard of this before, but never really gave it too much thought. Okay, so guys, put a 1 in the chat if you've heard of the plutonium route to getting a nuclear weapon. Okay, because not many people have heard of this, but you can get nuclear weapons through plutonium, which is a byproduct of the enrichment process, I believe. So put a 1 in the chat if you heard of that, 0 if you haven't, and we'll talk about it.
Enrichment capability, but they were allowed to open the Bushehr nuclear reactor back in the early 2000s, and while that's covered in the 2015 nuclear deal only very lightly, there are estimates out now by proliferation experts that the amount of plutonium in the spent fuel that has gone through the Bushehr reactor for the last roughly 25 years, and which is in cooling ponds near the reactor now, if you took the plutonium that was produced by the nuclear reaction out of the spent fuel, it's enough plutonium to make 200 nuclear weapons.
Holy crap, I've never heard of that. Now, I want to say, as someone who thinks critically, and all of you should, if we just take him blindly at what he's saying, that it's fact, that's really scary. 200 nuclear weapons from the plutonium in the cooling ponds. Well, why didn't they do it if they knew this? Because there's a possibility that what he's saying is either erroneous, false, exaggerated, or there's a very difficult technological process, an expensive, hard tech process, scientific process to take the plutonium and make it into a nuclear bomb. I don't know what it is. I'm just critically thinking, why haven't they done it? It's probably one of those reasons. Expensive, hard, lacking skills and technology, right? Or just kind of bullshit and hearsay, okay? All those things are possible. So I don't doubt that they have that, but it might be like saying, in the deepest part of the Rocky Mountains, almost the Earth's core, there are diamonds and gold. If we just go there, we can get them. Okay, got it. That's going to take us $1 trillion to get there, and you're going to say we're going to get $1 billion we're going to spend $1 trillion to get $1 billion. Yeah, stupid idea, okay? Or when we get, maybe it's so fast you get a nuclear weapon that we are going to nuke Iran, and they're like, no, don't do it because they'll nuke us. And maybe we would see them taking the plutonium from the cooling ponds, and then we'd hit them. It's all these things are possible, okay? So what I'm saying is just critically thinking, he is a war hawk. He wants to change the regime. He's all for it. He's saying Trump needs to go and do it. But, you know, but at the same time, he thinks he's in a bad trap and just wants to get out of there, and it doesn't make him look good. And he's saying, you know, he never listened to me in the first place, and here he is doing the plan I told him to do. So all these things are possible, but I think the other guy, Sachs, I think there's some wishful thinking. There's some wishful thinking there. And the one thing he did talk about that I didn't play, I should have played that part, was the devastation to the global economy by closing the Strait of Hormuz, okay, which is a real thing. Let me jump in the chat. I've been talking my brains out for a while here. Let's see what we got. Brian Plummer. 1, plutonium is a lot less efficient, though. Okay, on the nuclear side. Thank you. Okay, good. Good, got it. Okay, we need to talk to a scientist who knows. Yeah, for sure, Cedric. Maybe I can get one on here. But if you guys do a little research in you know, the AI or something, throw it in, what you learn. Okay, Cody Fisher, plutonium is a relative enrichment, but not all the same capability, from my understanding. He's speaking heresy and using words. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on there. Pay me more, I'll say anything. 100%, brother, 100%. We got to keep that in mind, too. You mean if I make it exciting and you guys stay and the watch times are higher and we get more ads, I'll say anything. I hate to say it, but there are a lot of channels like that, a lot of places like that, and they just keep saying anything. You know, I mean, yep. Again, like I'm saying, it's so important to know your identity. Go to my live seminar tomorrow. The link is in the chat, pinned comment in the chat, free. Register for it, 8 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. Pacific time. It's a Zoom call. We're going to see each other. I'm going to have a big Q&A at the end. It's worth going just for the Q&A. But my point is, like Cody's saying, he'll say anything. He doesn't know his identity, right? That's what we're alleging. And we don't know if I don't really know this guy. Okay, great, whatever. But I'm saying someone who will say anything just for likes, comments, money, whatever, you know, you don't know who you are, right? And when you don't know who you are, you get blown away like a reed in the wind, or like you're like pushed around by the waves of life, and every current changes your direction. All right. So tomorrow in my seminar, I'm going to talk about the power of identity. We're going to talk about the power of your energy, your identity, and your environment to shape and change your life, and how you can take control of those things in order to dominate and crush your goals and become your highest and best version of yourself right now, to live your best life, have your highest quality life, be the best leader you can, all those things, okay? So sign up, register for my free seminar tomorrow. The link is in the chat, pinned right here, right now. Go ahead and get in there. And if you can't make it, you can't make it. Do the best you can. It'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, but it's going to be a lot of fun. The Q&A alone at the end will be awesome. We'll go for about an hour of me teaching, and then we'll do Q&A live for as long as everybody's there. Probably 30 minutes, 45 minutes usually is what it will be. Let's see, Cedric. You got, yeah, Brian, plutonium is more complex overall. I hear you. Cedric, I'd like to hear your take on North Korea and their nuclear capability and them having those. Apparently they have one. Apparently they do. And they are developing and improving their missile delivery technology, Cedric. So that's very concerning. You know, I think they're a real concern. They're very concerning. But they use it. The only reason they use it is a bargaining chip for negotiations, to get money, to get payment. That's what they do. They have no money there. They're poor. So what do? When they want everyone to take notice, they launch a missile and then shoot it over Japan. Everyone's like, oh, okay, there it goes again. What do you guys want? Well, we want subsidies, and we want help, and we want this. And we're like, all right, everybody gives them money and they shut up. And that's it. That's pretty much it for them. They have used their nuclear weapons program effectively they've used their missile program too. Because you got to be able to deliver the thing. You can't just have a nuclear bomb and say, we'll blow it up on ourselves, and no one cares. Okay? But they have missile delivery technology. They have delivery technology that they use effectively for negotiations and to get concessions, to get money, to get favor, to get technology from other countries around the world. Okay? Iran could do the same thing, but nobody's letting them because they don't trust them. Oh, I guess that happens, though, when you say death to America and we're going to blow you up, death to everybody. Scary stuff. Maybe what worked for them at home didn't work so well for them in strategic communications abroad. So just saying. I'm a machine. Theoretical versus you're working with can be right night and day. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. I'm a machine. Let's see here. What else we got? They want food. Yeah, 100% Gordon. Yeah, you got it, Cedric. Of course, man. Good point. Good point, Cody Fisher. All right, let's keep on rolling. Let's listen a little bit more here. I think
So I back in the George W. Bush administration, I was hoping Israel would bomb the Bushehr.
Okay, heard enough from him. Just wanted you guys to hear about the cooling ponds, the plutonium. And now it is time when we are going into our third act, our leadership lessons of South Park. We're about to kick it off, but there will be no South Park tonight. Tonight, it's going to be some funny-ass bloopers. You guys are going to like it, okay? Remember, it's important to laugh. It's important to have a good time. You can't be just dead serious all the time, okay? I'm going to tell you something. One of the best things about being a Marine, being in Marine Force Recon, Marine Raiders, Marine Infantry, the Marine Corps period, was the humor, okay? It was like the Seven Samurai. Everybody's always laughing. Yeah, we worked hard. Yeah, there were very serious times. Yes, you had to show you could lock it on and be dead serious. But outside of those times, some of the funniest people I've ever been around that knew how to have a sense of humor, because the job was hard and it was stressful and it was scary and you could lose your life, right? You could die. The job was combat, killing, destroying, people trying to kill you, all stuff like that. So you have to learn to laugh, to have fun, which is a big point in this live stream on Fridays, because we've worked hard this week. It's Friday night. We're going to kick off the weekend with a little bit of fun time here, okay? Short one, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's get into this. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment. If you know somebody that would like this, share it with them. Say, hey, check it out. Get in here next time, okay? Helps out the channel. Please subscribe. I won't steal your soul. Nothing's going to happen to you. It's not like, in the old days, they go to Africa to take a picture of somebody. They'd be like, don't take it. You're stealing my soul with that camera. Nothing like that's going to happen, okay? I can remember I told you guys the stories before. My mom's 86. And, hey, Mom, if you're listening, she watches every now and then. But she would not subscribe. I'm like, just subscribe. You can get an alert. Your son's going to be on here. You can see me. She's like, no, I'm not subscribing. I'm not subscribing. I'm like, why? She thought they're going to take all my information. They know it's some scam in there. They're going to burrow into my stuff and steal everything. I said, Mom, you might get sent an ad every now and then or something like that, but it's not that serious. Stuff like that can happen, but I don't think with YouTube subscribing, okay? So if you're one of those people that's afraid to subscribe, you feel like it counts against you. I'm subscribed to too many people now. It doesn't work like that, right? It's not like an Instagram ratio or something like that. Subscribe. If you like it, good, subscribe. I've said my deal. And then also the last thing is, don't forget to sign up right now, okay? I've got 50 people signed up right now. 50 people are registered, okay? So sign up before it gets even more for tomorrow, because I'll probably get another, bunch tomorrow on Saturday. But I want to make sure I can see you on the screen, right? So you're not off screen in the cheap seats somewhere. So get in there, register right now. It's going to be awesome. The Q&A alone tomorrow will be fantastic. 6 p.m. Eastern time. The link for this is in the chat right now, pinned. Super easy. You register. That's it. I'd love to see you there. It'd be great. I can put a face with the name. It's so funny. I saw a few of there last time. Super cool. And one of you was like, hey, I'm so-and-so. I said, oh, no way. Okay. So it'd be really cool. Great to have you guys there. All right. Our little community rocks on. Best chat in YouTube. Before we go, one more round of applause for the best chat in YouTube. Woo! Give yourselves one. A lot of highfalutin fancy thinking going on tonight. A lot of smart people in this chat. And that has been said many times. Best chat in YouTube, smartest chat in YouTube. So that's all you guys. Congrats on that status. And that's people that come and visit will tell me that. So very, very cool. And you guys have seen it too when people put it in the chat. Very cool, very mature. Let's get into the leadership lessons. Let's get into our comedy section. I don't know how many leadership lessons we're going to have here, except we probably will have some. And let's go ahead and do this and kick the weekend off just right. Let's see what I got here. No context, American politics, funny stuff. I think this is going to be good. Here we go.
The scenario reminds me of this popular meme of a guy playing Uno.
Extremely great dad and
These people are
husband.
just not
Extremely
funny.
tall. And don't forget, extremely good looking.
I'm Bob Stefanowski, and I'm extremely embarrassed to
And an
approve this
extremely
message.
bad actor. Extremely bad acting. That's
Non-stop
horrible.
focus on billionaire donors creates real problems for our democracy.
And that's why we're running for a third term.
No, we're not.
We're not?
No.
Who the hell said that?
Key and Peele, he's nuts.
I look forward to spanking
What is
each
this?
and every single one of you at the new esteemed dungeon.
What is this?
Look, here's the deal. Behind me, you'll see the City of Danbury sewer plant.
and we are going to rename it the John Oliver Memorial Sewer Plant. Why? Because it's full of just like you, John.
Hello. Thank you. Hello.
He's so bad.
Hello. Thank you.
I've never pretended to be a police officer, and I've never threatened a shootout with the police.
By the way, it's all his fault that we're spending $6 billion in taxpayer money this month to help fight HIV/AIDS.
For President Ford, the year seemed full of snags. In June, he fell down the plane steps on arriving in Austria.
It's just right there. We're spending $6 billion. Wow. I mean, just crazy stuff. Anyway, let's keep going here.
For President Ford, the year seemed full of snags. In June, he fell down the plane steps on arriving in Austria.
Oh, crap. Ooh, he biffed it.
But a whole lot more serious were the two attempts to assassinate him.
What would you do if you were elected?
You think so? A lot more serious, the two attempts to assassinate him. I've never seen this before, guys. I don't know what to make of it. Give me a fire symbol in the chat if this is funny, if you like it. Okay, if it's stupid, give me a thumbs down. But I think it's pretty good so far.
About Aleppo. About Aleppo. And what is Aleppo? You're kidding.
Wow. What is Aleppo? I want to talk to you about Aleppo. Hold on. This is nuts.
Him.
What would you do if you were elected? About Aleppo. About Aleppo. And what is Aleppo? You're kidding. No.
Wow.
Aleppo is in Syria. It's the epicenter of the refugee crisis. Okay. First of all.
Wow. Talk about being out of your depth when you're running for office. Oh, man.
Oh, you dirty boy! You. Oh. Donald, I thought you were a gentleman.
What?
Poor kids are just.
What the hell is this? What the hell is even this? What? I can't even see that again. Did I see what I think I saw? What the hell was that? What's the context there? Was it real? Was it fake? It looks real. What was this? That's freaking strange, man. Wow. Okay, let's keep going. We're almost done.
As bright and just as talented as white kids.
You're a gentleman, dirty boy.
What the hell have I found here? This is nuts. What is going on? First of all, this is wacko.
Oh. Donald, I thought you were a gentleman.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
What is going on? Who made this? What the hell is this? This is crazy. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Guys, am I losing my mind here? Am I losing my marble? What the frick? Guys, I don't even believe. What am I seeing? What am I seeing? I know. You know, for sure I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be like, your video has been worldwide banned unless you take following action. I have to delete this section. 100% it's going to happen tomorrow. I'm just letting you guys know, okay? So if the video is off for like the first couple hours, that's why. It happens to me at least once a month. Just telling you guys. So the live is good to come to. Tell your friends, come to the live, because the live I can play all this stuff and they don't zap me. I don't get any copyright strikes, no trouble, no community violations, and I have to delete everything the next morning. So you're seeing it right here. This is nuts.
But you're a gentleman.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
What the hell?
The U.S. Army says the inappropriate messages were sent to a model at an adult website. Fort Bragg deleted the account after the messages surfaced. This morning, officials announced the administrator identified himself as the source of those tweets.
This is terrible. This is terrible. This is beyond terrible. What? Goodness gracious.
Hiding crews, your next First Lady, Carolyn and Catherine, and the next President of the United States, Ted Cruz.
I didn't say anything there. You're kidding me. This is like the worst moment. Who let the dogs out? Who? Are you seriously kidding me? Mitt Romney. Oh my God. I'm like so embarrassed for him. Seriously? Guys, did we just see this? I mean, seriously, no, give me a reaction in the chat. Is this, am I like losing my mind? Am I losing my freaking mind here? What does he say? What is this? Look, I don't even know if this Ted Cruz one was, but
Who let the dogs out?
What's something that
I don't understand. I'm dying. I'm cringing. Literally, I've heard this. People say cringe. I'm literally cringing. I'm embarrassed for him. This is so stupid.
Who let the dogs out?
what's something that you always carry with you? Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you getting information right now?
What in the world? What in the world? All right.
I'll walk in there. I'll kiss everyone in that audience. I'll kiss the guys and the beautiful women and everybody. I'll just give you a big fat kiss.
And now I'll ask Officer Stein and his colleagues.
Not good. Not good after all that. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my, I don't know what the hot sauce is.
To escort the accused into the room so that we may all look upon the guilty party. Don't get him too close to me, please.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the White Stripes.
We like to troll. We like to go the night before one of their primaries. We do a little trolling. It's called we do a little trolling.
I'm Gerald Ford, and you're not.
Wow, this is terrible.
Ready to move?
Absolutely. Let's do this thing. Let's move.
What in the world is this? Guys, I'm sorry I'm traumatizing you right now. What the hell is... All right, I can't take anymore. I'm trying to stop it. What
We're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona.
This is, if you haven't seen this one, this is one of the kooky. It's just kooky.
We're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico. We're going to California and Texas and New York. And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House. Yeah!
And right there, that ended his career. That little, yeah, that ended his political career. Ladies and gentlemen, put a 1 in the chat if you remember this. This is the end of his political career. Yeah.
Take back the White House. Yeah!
They played this on repeat. Is that Putin?
Thank you for calling 911. Please listen for your language. For Spanish, press 1. For Korean, press 2.
Do you ever miss English?
What?
Spanish, press 1. For Korean, press 2.
Do you ever miss English? Immigration's out of control. Bush and Gore are writing off English for good. What can you do? Vote for the third party that puts Americans first.
What?
Vote Buchanan for president.
I've never seen this in my life. What in the hell just happened? Holy crap. This was really special. Guys, give me a fire symbol in the chat if you like that. If you got something out of it, if you thought that was funny, give me a fire symbol. Give me something in the chat. I got to know. I got to have instant feedback on this one. I can't even believe I found this. What the hell was this? This is nuts. Honestly, what a good way to kick off the Friday, huh? I thought this was great. Now you forget about everything. You forget about the war, you forget about the BS, your problems, you forget about work. See how good that is? We talked about the important stuff. Come tomorrow. Register for my friggin' seminar tomorrow. Register for the seminar tomorrow. The link is in the chat. Super easy. It takes you 60 seconds to register. It's going to be awesome. Going to be friggin' fantastic, okay? Great to have you guys here. Listen, I had a great time. Hope you guys had a great time. I will see you all tomorrow, hopefully at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, okay? And we'll have an awesome, awesome seminar. And then I'll see you on Monday at the next live stream. Remember, guys, believe in yourselves. Know who you are. Stand by it. I believe in you, and go get yours. Let's go. It's been a great time. I'll see you all very soon. Have a great weekend, everyone.